Okay, now we are live, and hopefully, if anyone can hear me, which is pretty good, I already mute the volume on my side. I know I got the app that says Dream Girlfriend on, so yeah, because yeah, that's on the Google and Apple Store. But enough about that. So, howdy, y'all. Welcome to my live stream, Leo's live stream and news. And welcome to the weekend. And this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, or the entire month of October. So, yes, I also. This is my second year ever since I was diagnosed with testicular cancer, and finally I'm cancer free. Thank the Lord, and guess what? I'm still cancer free, and I'm gonna keep it that way. So I'm wearing pink for the entire month of October, including my profile picture, and yes, and also the what you saw on the thumbnail about my trip to Texas, not to mention the Gem State Comic Con, and oh my goodness, and and all that. And so yes, the Six Flags and Gem State Comic Con and my Texas trip. So yes, and also we'll talk about into a little bit of Special Olympics. So there you have it. And oh man, let's see if I can put my fluffy little friend uh, on the top of things. Let's see if I, yeah, yeah, why not? Why not? Here you go. There you go. Right next to it. There you go. Yes. Yeah. And yeah, what's wrong with not having animal friends, y'all? So there you have it. Yay! There you go, fluffy little friend. There we go. Awesome. Okay. So, anyways, so once again, welcome to my live stream, and here, once again, my special guest appearance, the moderator of one of my moderators of my YouTube channel, and also the general manager, Austin Lawrence. Yeah, hello. Give it up for Austin Lawrence, even though it's only just you and me. For so so now, and so what are we going to talk about? Oh, yes, my trip to Texas. My trip to Texas from this year's and last year's. So, okay, so for when I went to last year's from last year on my trip to Texas was by plane, the same thing, and I thought I was going to go on a road trip this year because this would be the best year of 2023, but instead it was going to go by plane, to be honest. So there you have it. It was that kind of I don't know. I mean, it was supposed to be. It was not supposed to be this way. Whoa, sorry. One that little piece was kind of blocking. Okay, so yeah, there you go. So so yeah, the thing is, the thing is, my goodness. When I was in Texas for the first time, and when I get to see it with my very own eyes, I was I was I was excited. I was, to be honest, I was really excited. My uncle John and Aunt Abigail live in the heart of Texas, in the city of San Marcos, and there was some interesting things when I checked out at Texas State University. The ecosystem, the water. I mean, my gosh, have you? I mean, there are divers underwater. Of course, have you ever heard of normal gardening, where you kind of garden your own vegetables or plants like that in a sort of way? Okay, so in that lake there were underwater divers doing underwater gardening. I'm not joking. Underwater gardening completely. It's for real. 100% underwater gardening underwater. Yeah, it's there. I mean, the ecosystem, the latest advanced technology in Texas at Texas State University. It's amazing. And I checked out the Museum of the Ecosystem of the Gulf of Mexico, and which I'll get to that later on about Corpus Christi, Texas, which is awesome. And oh my goodness, it's the thing is, yeah, it's just absolutely incredibly exciting, and don't get me wrong, and I loved each and every minute of it. Uh, and tried out the Texas, my gosh, Texas barbecue restaurant. And and there's another, and okay, so there was this when we arrived at Texas. I usually there were two tropical storms. Tropical storms. One was Tropical Storm Shirley coming into the northwest in northwestern Mexico, and it goes from a straight shot up to California to Nevada and all the way straight to Idaho. And looky here, Blazer is in the house. Hello there, Blazer from the Scandinavia countries. How are you, dude? And yeah, welcome to the live stream. And no, this is not a premiere. This is live. I'm talking to you live right now in the mountain time in the United States. And you are in one of the Scandinavian countries there. So howdy doody day. Or should I say, well, let's see. I know I'm going to say this in Arabic in one word, or should I say, Zoda Hapetz? Or salam yeah, well, or should I say, yeah. No, no, that's Persian. I should have say salam alaikum. Sorry. Salam alaikum. I don't speak Arabic. Only just one or two words that I know of in Arabic. Even though my great grandfather is from Morocco, to be honest. So don't. I'm not joking. It's real. Mm. And like I said, two. That's a good Arabic. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I practiced those words and then hopefully to get better. Even though I don't understand everything, even though learning is a gift. So so the thing is, two tropical storms. Tropical storm. There's your cat. Tropical storm Shirley was coming straight up. Was going up from a straight shot. Wait, you mean Iraq? Oh my friend. Oh, Iraq. No, I mean Iran. Iran is people of Persia. That's why that's what I was kind of speaking in speaking the words in Farsi. that was my fault. Of course, I got a little confused. But so yeah, I was speaking Farsi a bit. So that was on me. That was on me. Yeah, that was it's fine. Even if I make friends who are Arabs or those from Persia or Persians or from Iran, I don't mind. I mean, it's like I just want to get to know them. That is all. Thank you. I'll continue. Okay, Tropical Storm Shirley. It reached all the way to Idaho, and there was Tropical Storm Harold coming into the southwest. Actually, yeah, in straight into southern Texas. And yes, I saw Tropical Storm Harold. It happened at the same time. My mom and I boarded the plane and then left on said plane, and then not realizing that both tropical storms are coming in at the same time in different directions. So yes, I saw I saw Tropical Storm Harold. That's how it happened. When I and then usually when that happens, my goodness, I saw the arms of Tropical Storm Harold, and of course I saw the grass area, the landscape once again, dry grass. There was not enough rain or water. Of course, there is watering lawns, but man, I mean the temperatures over there is like around 100 degrees up. You talk about the humidity. It's just it is hot. It is hot in the tropics because over I would say half the state of Texas is in the tropics, while the other half isn't because in the southwest, in the Great Plains, and then you have such as Amarillo and Lubbock, and not to mention part of Waco, and then you see the heart of Texas, which is Dallas and Fort Worth. And then you see, yeah, there's some palm trees in Dallas and Fort Worth, just not a lot, just possibly some or few, just not a lot. That's as far as you can go up to. And of course, you see palm trees in Austin, in the city of Austin, Texas itself, along with San Marcos. And also, I've been to San Antonio, and I enjoyed the place called a restaurant before Whataburger. Went to Taco Cabana. Taco Cabana. The food was great, and guess what happened when I was at Taco Cabana? A storm came in. I'm guessing Tropical Storm Harold reached a part of its arms on all the way to how it got into in Seguin, Texas. And yes, and the rain was heavy. It was heavy. I saw the lightning. I hear the rolling thunder, and I scared? Not really though. But I used to be when I was little. I mean, when I was younger. So it was scary. And I've been through situations like this before. It's not a secret for me. So such as a tropical storm like that, and my goodness, it was raining for like heavy rain for like 5 minutes or so, and then it slowed down from heavy rain to normal, then normal to light, and then all of a sudden it stopped. And guess usually I felt the rain, and it wasn't cold. I mean, it was cool, but it was kind of a little warm, and that's why they call it a tropical storm for nothing. They don't call it a tropical storm for nothing. Wow, we had like four people watching, and then we're down to two. It's just you and me. So YouTube's algorithm is so messed up. It's so bad, and it's poor, and it's poorly broken. Even the copyright issues is just really bad. And which I've kind of I'm gonna get back to that a little bit later on, but that's gonna be later. So for now, I'm gonna talk about more of Texas. So here we go. And I did it. I went to Jeremiah, and I see the exploration around the Seguin, Texas, and all this. And I was at a hotel, the hotel by the Hilton. So yes, Homewood Suites Hotel by Hilton. So that was great. And also, I did went to Whataburger more than once. So yes, Whataburger. And for those, I'm not certain if anybody was watching this live stream. If for those who live in Texas, and but by the time you watch this video, it'll already be archived because you don't know what you're missing of what I'm talking about. So it's an interesting experience because Texas has really grown on me. The state of Texas has really grown on me. And yes, there's like anime conventions and Comic Con conventions in said state of Texas. And you know what I mean. Yeah, I mean, You think Idaho's the only one? It's not the only one. I mean, Big Cammy just went to a Comic Con, as I recall, and that is in Ohio, in Cincinnati. I mean, Southern Ohio.
Yeah, I was born and raised in Cincinnati.
Really?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Cincinnati.
You were born and raised in Cincinnati, Ohio, home of the Bengals, not to mention the Cincinnati Reds of the Major League Baseball team.
Yep,
And
born and raised.
wow, also home of the Cincinnati Bearcats of the American Athletic Conference, and also there's the Xavier Musketeers, college teams, college because I'm kind of smart on this when it comes to conferences and colleges.
Yep. I also spent some time in Kentucky, and I currently live in Virginia. That's all I'm gonna say on that matter.
Yeah, you could say that. I mean, if, of course, Ohio is not far south. Of course, it has humidity, but it does get cold. So, because, well, why? Look at that. For example, you're actually in the Great Lakes region. What do you expect? Not to mention the Ohio River.
Yeah, trust me from experience. Winters in Ohio can get pretty cold.
Ooh. Especially when it comes to the state of Kansas. I've been there, and it can get cold in Kansas, even though it's far south, but not far south enough.
I was in Kansas for a brief period of time during a road trip I took to California.
Mm. Yeah. Okay. So many explorations. I've been through. I also went to Schlitterbahn. I went to Schlitterbahn in the water park Schlitterbahn. It was one of the best water parks I ever been to in the state of Texas. It's big. It's bigger than Raging Waters in San Dimas, California. I only been through one day of it. There was the East Bond and there was the West Bond, and my goodness, and the lines were pretty long. And of course, unless you have a fast pass, it's like you can skip through the lines and go. Well, if unless you have a fast pass, unless you have the like you have a card that is kind of laminated, and you can carry it with you without getting wet. So unless you have the fast pass, you can go into any water ride you want. Of course, there are some of the water rides that are how do I say they are temporarily closed due under construction in sort of way, because that
Yeah,
was
I can understand that.
the one I went to was in New Braunfels, Texas. New Braunfels, Texas. Yeah, it's as a Germanic feel, the Germanic town, because it's it's almost like Texas has its own country, to be honest, but it has like it's kind of like Argentina, like Italians with Germans and French and Spaniards. So it's like it's kind of like Argentina, only Argentina's in South America and Texas is in North America in the Southwest. And you know what they say. It's just absolutely incredible. and I also I also wanted to. Well, let's see. I'm gonna display. Got mental. Yeah, there we go. Ta-da! And ta-da! There we go. Yeah, I mean Olympic medals. I mean it's how I yeah, like yeah, Olympic medals. not,
Nice.
I'm not sure if anybody can see it, but whatever. So the thing is, one thing is certain that I did enjoy Schlitterbahn so much. Of course, I did enjoy the boogie bond or the board boogie board bond or the surfboard boogie bond, and There are those who kind of lasted longer and those who don't last longer because it's like trying to ride the waves of like surfing around the waves. Because if you go surfing in Texas, which is absolutely there, because unless you right next to is Padre Island, and there's South Padre Island, and then there's that. It's just absolutely incredible. So I did enjoy it. I did absolutely enjoyed it, and also I went to the San Antonio River Walk. I mean, I already went to the Alamo of last year, learning its history. Yes, there's palm trees in San Antonio, and I'm in the tropics in Texas while I'm in San Antonio. And the San Antonio River Walk is like Little Venice, Italy. There's so much history, the stuff. I mean, from what you saw in the video premiere of my Texas trip, in that per se, in the per question, I mean, besides Seguin, Texas, I mean, is okay. Let's start with Seguin, Texas first. What did you see from what you saw in the video of, in the city of Seguin?
That looks pretty nice.
Really? I mean, anything interesting? Of course, the name Juan Seguin is the clue to that name, to the name of that founder. Juan Seguin is, yeah, he's a real guy. He's a guy in real life. I just did not know this. Along with the town historical district, and there's the courthouse. Then we saw the golf course, and right next to is the river. And there's so much history around itself in Seguin, Texas.
Yeah.
Yes, and I saw in the sky, like I said before, there was Tropical Storm Harold. It was right in front of my eyes because I saw it.
What's of it was, what's of that storm was kind of the actual premiere.
It was. I mean, what did it kind of actually caught you off guard when Tropical Storm Harold was there on the horizon?
Admittedly, a little bit.
To be honest, that is a real live tropical storm in the southern part of Texas because, I mean, I was in central Texas. I mean, in the heart of Texas, don't get me wrong, but I do see the outstretched arms of Tropical Storm Harold reaching into the shoreline and heading straight into El Paso. And not to mention in the northern part of Mexican states such as Coahuila and Tamaulipas. It's Mexican states, if you want to know, just to let you know.
Yeah,
So that's how it happened. Well, I was, like I said, I was in the raging storm, and it lasted for like 5 minutes of that heavy rain. Then it went to normal, then to light rain to drizzle, then it stopped. I was dry. I was inside the restaurant up Taco Cabana, and I was perfectly fine. Of course, like I said, yeah, I used to be afraid of thunder and lightning, and just not anymore. Unless, of course, getting the chances of getting struck by lightning, or the odds of that is 3,735 to one. Okay, that is pretty long odds, which I will take. I'll take it. And someone's going to say, never tell me the odds. Yeah, never tell me the odds. Okay, and the Riverwalk. Yeah, I know I have not been recording, and also what you get to see on Interstate 35, and you know, north and south, in what you saw in one of the videos, and I remember when I said this last year, I say, "Hey Austin, I found your city that has your name on it. I know where you live."
that one got a good chuckle out of me, as I recall.
You remember that, do you? Oh, come on. It was. I know. I was. And it's like I was. It's like I know where you live, but I know you don't live in Austin, Texas, because that name.
Yeah.
it was. It was funny. It was absolutely funny for me. Oh, I know it's humid in Texas, but I'm used to humidity. I'm just not used to dry air per se because it's not comfortable for me. oh. There are people who are used to dry air and those who are used to humidity per se in a way, unless the person who has a really good athletic body. That's all I can say. Unless you have the strength and stamina, is what you need. Also, drink plenty of water, lots and lots of water.
Yeah. Water's always a good choice.
Mm. Oh, don't look. Don't mind me. I'm just drinking muscle milk.
There.
Ooh. And okay, the Riverwalk. It's like Little Venice, Italy. So the thing is, the tour on that Riverwalk on the cruise lasted 30 minutes. And we got when there's some history I didn't even realize. I'm not certain if I can remember, but unless for those who watch the video over and over again, they can understand the history of San Antonio around the Riverwalk, like Little Venice, Italy, and I do never thought that one of the pubs is actually the oldest around in San Antonio in Texas. To be honest, it's real huge, and not to mention a really big tree that's so far old it's still kicking and alive. I mean, it was. What did you remember? One thing that you see on that Riverwalk boat cruise of San Antonio.
It looked like it came straight out of Venice.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. It just came. You said you did. I did mention about Little Venice, Italy, and I do remember what you said on the chat, or maybe either that or just Big Cammy says something about. This kind of reminds me of going watching about Pokemon a little bit.
Yeah, Kelly did bring up the Sega movie 5 did take place on the sea with waterways similar to Venice and what we saw in the premiere of San Antonio.
I mean, when he said something on the chats, like, really, you mentioned about Pokemon. I don't know what kind of. I don't remember what Pokemon series he mentioned. I only remember just the original. I don't remember which Pokemon series he mentioned.
If I remember correctly, movie 5 took place during the Yoga launch.
The fifth movie of Pokemon.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I only seen
they
the.
say that movie took place in a water-based city, similar to like Venice.
Ah, okay, that makes sense. That's what he mentioned. Okay, and now that we were and now that we were in the city of San Antonio, me and my mom decided like I that well, we're like a 2 hour drive from Corpus Christi, Texas, and my mom decided like why not? How about let's go to Corpus Christi, Texas? Like for real? Like yeah, let's go then. Let's go to Corpus Christi, Texas. Yes, and we're going there. But before we saw, I know during the Riverwalk we saw the Tower of the Americas. The Tower of the Americas that we saw on the horizon. If you remember seeing that video, it almost looks like the Space Needle, which is relates to back in Seattle, Washington. So, do you remember seeing that video, the Tower of the Americas in San Antonio?
Yeah, I remember seeing the tower.
It definitely kind of looks like the Space Needle back in Seattle, Washington, which I've been to Seattle, no doubt about it. It My goodness, I mean, it was like the World's Fair to have like the Tower of the Americas.
Yeah, yeah, it was pretty good.
I've been to the Space Needle like twice already in Seattle, so it was awesome sauce. So, okay, now we were on the road to Corpus Christi, Texas. So we went to Interstate 37, and then along the way, I saw a bunch of cactus plants. A bunch of cactus plants. So, like, while you were watching the video on the premiere, and then, like, yes. And then I also saw the cacti fruit. I thought it was pitaya fruit, but I got corrected. Someone corrected me, and it was the cacti fruit, not the pitaya fruit. The pitaya fruit are like the on the top of the long, tall cactus plants, not the small ones, the tall ones, the tall ones. And I'm guessing you can find the ones such as Arizona and possibly in southern Nevada and also in, I would say, Southern California in per se reason. Maybe as far as Western Texas and maybe Southern New Mexico, I'm certain. But that's my guess. That is my only guess. Well, nobody's ever talked on the chat ever since Blazer came in, but okay then.
We'll just put on me to talk to.
I mean, not a lot of people. Usually there were four people coming in, and now not a lot. I mean, this is interesting. Okay, but enough about that. So after that, we reached the Corpus Christi, Texas, and then we said there was the Gulf Coast, and I can see that the Gulf of Mexico is not too far from me. And then you see the city of Corpus Christi, Texas itself, and
No pause.
and then right next to us is is Corpus Christi International Airport, and right there was the National Guard, Corpus Christi's National Guard, like right next to us when we exit off the freeway, and and then we saw, my goodness, there's some Spanish influence in Corpus Christi. I mean, it's the city is named in Latin, if you want to know.
That's good to know.
The city name is in Latin, which means body of Christ. So that's what the city name is in Latin for. So yeah, I of course I got interested in some of the words in Latin, which I did not know that. So yes, such as an example for the word the what is the Latin word for I forbid, which means the word veto. Veto. I veto the bill. So something like that. It's for an example. I guess Latin is kind of popular. And okay, so we were with the city limits of Corpus Christi. We were in downtown Corpus Christi. Then we saw the courthouse, and then all of a sudden we saw Whataburger, the very first Whataburger in Corpus Christi, Texas. And you go back, my gosh, 73 years? 73 years. First the very first Whataburger right next to the bay, the Gulf of Mexico, the Gulf of Corpus Christi, right there is Whataburger. And there you see the Gulf Coast and a lot of palm trees. And it's like I'm back in Florida, but only I'm in Texas. I'm facing east instead of Florida that I'm facing west because I was right next to the Gulf of Mexico in Clearwater Beach, Florida. And and also I hear the sound of the wind. I saw the palm trees and all this and that, and my mom was excited to go. I mean, she was fearful to go to the Gulf or by the bay, and then she conquered her fear that hold her for so many years, which I did not know. And This I did not know either until now, and she conquered her fear going into the Gulf Coast. I know the water is salty. Don't get me wrong, and it actually felt pretty good. It was absolutely pretty good, and I checked out the dike of the barrier dike, and it was pretty long. And also, I get to see Padre Island right in front of me, and also not too far from where I was a University of Texas Corpus Christi, home of the Islanders. Not don't get confused with the name of the Islanders of the National Hockey League team in Brooklyn, New York, which is from on MSG networks and also sometimes on ESPN networks as well, on the networks of ESPN. That includes with ESPN Plus. But it was great. It was fantastic. And my goodness, I loved it. The sound of the wind, the beach, and it's like it takes your breath away, and it is it also just like takes my stress away and like all this and that. Like it's like I just like to have this as a getaway spot to go and like leave all my problems behind and all this and that, and it's just amazing. So okay, so what is your reaction of what you saw in the city limits of Corpus Christi, Texas?
It was pretty nice. Nice. It was pretty big.
It is pretty big, and not to mention, did you saw the buildings there? It has some like Spanish influence. The roofs, the roofs, and not to mention, I see some churches and some steeples around, and my gosh, and I've also you also saw the first Whataburger, which I told you right there, right in front of you was the very first Whataburger. You can look it up on the history that it was franchised. It's not. It was family owned, not corporate owned. Family owned, not owned by a corporation. And what did you?
Now,
Oof. What did? Okay, so what you see the very first Whataburger. Not to mention, you saw the Gulf Coast on the video with your very own eyes, along with the tropical palm trees on the beaches. What you see there?
well, it was beautiful, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, I mean, does anything remind you of something of what you saw? I know you've been through road trips before. I mean, there's. I know you. Have you ever been to a beach?
Oh, I've been to beaches in the past. I mean, this one time I was there, my brief period of time in California, I had this, went to a beach and there was a really great ocean view.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you? I'm guessing you saw the Pacific Ocean per se.
Yes, I did.
So what part of California would that be? Was it southern or northern?
Summer. I was in LA at the time.
Oh, well, southern LA. I've been to the city limits of LA, such as Anaheim. I'm not certain if I've been to Long Beach because I know where Long Beach is. And so yeah, it was interesting. Besides, I saw the Oregon coast, the Pacific Ocean. No, I have not been to the Washington State coast, which would be said Pacific Ocean. That would be interesting. That would be new into my eyes and ears. But that's another time. So yeah, Texas definitely really grows on me, and we went back to Corpus Christi, Texas, not once but twice with with other family members who were flying from Idaho to Texas at one time, and they actually. So we did stay in a hotel in somewhere in Corpus Christi, Texas, for one night, and that was pretty good, and we did enjoy the beaches, and my gosh, and yeah, and guess who? Hurricane Parker the Hurricane Thomas is in the chat. Hello there, Hurricane Parker the Hurricane. What's up? Yeah, welcome to the. Yeah, I know you were very late, 40 minutes late to be honest, but I will get to you in a moment. So, Hurricane the Parker Thomas. I explained to Austin Lawrence about how I went to the Whataburgers in Texas, but I also went to the first Whataburger in Corpus Christi, Texas, the very first one, that one that started and began in the 1950s, and my goodness, it's almost around 70 years later, the entire restaurant went to statewide. It got statewide. Whataburger, and it is family owned. It was never franchised owned by a corporation. Because that is different. It is family owned. So what is the difference between that is family owned and franchise owned by a corporation? Well, do you want to know what is the difference between those two, or do you know this, Austin Lawrence?
Simple. One is owned and operated by a family. The other is owned by a big company.
Correct. I mean, when I went to Whataburger, the food right there, I mean, it is always fresh, never frozen. Fresh, never frozen. Even the hamburgers and the cheeseburgers were fresh and never frozen patties. I mean, of course you have to keep it cold, don't get me wrong, but it comes out with fresh and then fully cooked, and then right there, and then including the shakes, which is pretty good. I haven't tried the shakes, of course. I tried the salad, the chicken, and it was pretty good. I would say I know I'm gonna come this out, but I know I'm going to admit about Whataburger. But Whataburger, I would say, is a lot more better than what I tasted the food at JBX. So forgive me. It's true. Because it's fresh, never frozen on that type of thing. That's why it's family owned. It's never owned by a corporation. It was family owned. It's spread out through the state of Texas. I would say some parts in New Mexico and Oklahoma and Louisiana. Leo, if you ask how am I doing, nothing much, trying to take care of my I'm good. That's good. I'm glad. But still shocked that you almost from like from that extensive heat. Oh man, I mean, I still remember about that 110 degrees, and like you passed down, like wow, that was scary. Ugh. Usually a normal human can try to go from around 100 degrees, but going over 110 or higher, good luck with that. You'll need plenty of water. A person would actually pass out or faint. You want to, Austin Lawrence, you want to know what Hurricane said? He says, Leo, if you ask, how am I doing? Nothing much, trying to take care of myself. That's what he said. I'm looking at the chat. Don't worry.
That's good. Self care is a very important thing.
So, I checked out the very first Whataburger, and also the Gulf of Mexico was right there along with Padre Island. And me and my mom went into the Gulf of Mexico, take a dip into the salt water, and it actually felt pretty good. It was really good, and it like my mom had a fear of not going into the Gulf or the ocean or the sea, and then all of a sudden she conquered her fear of going, of how deep it is, and she did it. She absolutely did it, and she conquered her fear, which held her back for so many years. And I'm really happy that she is able to do it. She did it, and also I don't know if you watch. I wonder if you did watch the video on my Texas trip, but what did it? How did you actually saw what you saw on the city of Corpus Christi, Texas itself? The palm trees, Whataburger, and the Gulf of Mexico. There was Padre Island, and yes, the Texas has oil refineries around because the gas prices in Texas is pretty good. It's absolutely pretty good. I mean, for those in some on other states, not so much because it's expensive. Even in Idaho, Parker the Hurricane Thomas says this. He said, and he typed this, and he said, "Yeah, it was awful, Leo. I mean, something about that 100-degree 10 thing. I had to do a really cold bath in the morning, basically what NFL players had to do in the summer, and I was shivering. Nowadays, I am feeling better." Well, that's good news. That is good news. That is awesome. And like I said, my family and I went to other family members. We stayed at Corpus Christi, Texas, for one night, and because my other family members were coming in from Idaho and landed in Austin, Texas, and going to the beaches of Corpus Christi, and also not too far from us was the University of Texas Corpus Christi, home of the Islanders. It's a university. Don't get confused with the name that's on the NHL team of MSG Networks, which they live in, which from the National Hockey League, home of yeah. And when I mention about their university is on an island, and I mean it, their university, the University of Texas Corpus Christi, is based on their island, on an island, said island, and I'm not joking. You can look it up, and it's right there on the map. It's right there on said map, Hurricane. It's absolutely true. It's right there. It's just wow. You can check it out as well, Austin Lawrence. It's just right in front of me. I'm like, wow. It's there, to be honest. It's crazy, but it's true. It's 100% true. It's right there on an island on the said university. And it got me interested. It got me so interested. And this is why Texas has really grown on me so much. My goodness. And now I was saving the best for last, and on the final day, and well, it was on the final day on a Sunday. We went to Six Flags Fiesta, Texas, and yes, not going to an amusement park has finally been broken. I have not gone to an amusement park since 2009. The last time I went to an amusement park was in Disneyland in Anaheim, California, and Walt Disneyland's California Adventure, and also in Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida, of the same year. I have not gone to an amusement park ever since 2009, and now 14 years later, it's finally broken, and now I get to go to Six Flags Fiesta, Texas, and wow, it is great. absolutely exciting. And yes, I get to meet the Looney Tune characters. It was I got to meet Bugs Bunny. I get to meet Yosemite Sam. I get to meet Sylvester. I get to meet Sylvester the cat. I get to meet Lola Bunny. Wow, it's they're my favorite Looney Tune characters. And like ever since I was a kid, I wanted to meet them. And finally, I get to meet them for the first time, and I got pictures, baby. Woo! Yes! Wow! And that was just absolutely exciting. And not only that, I also took pictures of the bat suit. The bat suit, and also went to check out the Batmobile of Michael Keaton movie Batman's movie, the Batmobile, and I took a picture of that, and it was wow, yes, I got it, and this is how amazing. I know I'm a fan of Superman Shots Fired, and I'm also a fan of Batman, and it was
Speaking of the Batman,
I went to Batman the Ride. Batman the Ride. It was epic. It was thrilling. It was excitement. And it goes from loop de loops on that sad ride, and I didn't throw up. I'm used to go through loop de loops because I'm used to it because yes, it was awesome sauce. I get to go on the Roadrunner ride, and oh my goodness, the rattlesnake ride on that roller coaster. My goodness, you go from how many like 60 to 70 miles an hour at tops, like super fast. It's just dipping wicked scary at a high speed. Like, yes, wow, it's just absolutely incredible, man. It's just, I love it. Wow, it absolutely amazing. And I went to the Superman the Ride. Yes, I enjoyed that one, and it was incredible. And from what you saw, and that and also I will be posting more pictures of Six Flags of what I took, the bat suit and the Batmobile, and yeah, you'll get to see those in a moment. Trust me, you will. I mean, once I end the live stream. And also oh my goodness, so I also went to some other rides really wicked fast. It's like from 0 to 60 miles an hour in 5 seconds. Wow, it's incredible. I love it. The first time of my life, I get to go to an amusement park, and it's just absolutely exciting. And guess what? I brought this little parking mapping guide right here. So there you have it.
cool.
Show you on the camera right there, y'all. And here we go. There it is. Oh man.
I went to this bar but during my senior year of high school.
Oh man. There was so many rides. I was okay. The rides I went to. My gosh. And oh, the one I went to is called Poltergeist. Really wicked fast. It's so wicked fast. Oh my goodness, and that is just the boomerang coaster. I'm not a certain. There's a oh my. I went to the DC Universe. That's the one. Superman Krypton coaster. I went to Batman the Ride. It was really fast. It was so fast. It was the Thrill Seeker. There was the oh my goodness! It's just absolutely amazing. You it's it, that was the most awesome, the most yeah. I went to the Acme Company store and Roadrunner, well, the Roadrunner Express. That one I went to. My gosh. There was the Six Flags Fiesta Texas Museum. I went to the Fiesta Texas Railroad, the railroad, if you want to know. So yeah, it was that was incredible. I mean, my goodness, there's yeah, Batman the ride in Rockville. Oh man, Primo's Pizzeria. Wow, that's a name I've never heard in a long time. Yeah, my gosh, you can go nuts. And yes, and I also saw the Arkham version, the Arkham versions of Batman from the Arkham games. Like, yes, oh that it really surprised me. And yes, that was a great throwback, and I absolutely love it. Yes, and Six Flags has its own water park called Hurricane Harbor. It's on Fiesta, Texas. Of course, it costs a little more extra to like $20 to get inside in the Hurricane Harbor. So yeah, that's how it is. My goodness. Yes, there are some rides that's not by the water park. Of course, you could get wet. If you remember seeing that video, Austin Lawrence, on that, on that water ride, on that ride where well, yes, you will get wet, and there was that water dragon that'll shoot water at you.
Yeah, whatever that one.
Yeah, I thought I'd do a little method voice acting. It's like trying to sound like Barney Rubble, but with that trying to shoot like spitting water from its teeth, and then like laughs off, and
I haven't seen a dragon spell that much water since a lunar game.
really.
And for those not to know, Lunar is a really old school JRPG series.
Mm, right. I mean,
I'm talking like like PS1 era.
PlayStation One.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody plays PlayStation 1 games a long time, ever since it came out in the late 90s to the early 2000s. And you have the PS2, and then the PS3 became popular, which is still ongoing, which I'm surprised it still is. Not to mention the PS4 still going for I mean, whoever came out in somewhere in the early 2010s, and then keep going for another 15 years for possibly into that cycle. The same thing will go for the PS5. The Xbox came into the 90s, late 90s. The same thing with the Xbox 360. Wow, came into the 2000s, and now the Xbox One. It'll same thing goes for that cycle along with the Xbox Series XS. So Xbox is from Microsoft. PlayStation is from Sony, and Nintendo has its own thing, like the Nintendo Switch and all that. So there you have it. So the war and the love of the three kingdoms, Wei, Wu, and Shu. So PlayStation is Wei, Nintendo is Wu, Xbox is Shu, Gene is Steam. I see no different. The same thing. Wei, Wu, Shu, and Gene. There you have it. So that's it. I mean, and also on the one part of the video, did you actually see? I know you saw the interimaginary departures and arrivals, and from what you saw,
Yeah.
what was your reaction on this?
I was thinking, wow, talk about some wacky names.
What are the names that you what did you the names that you saw, or did you actually heard from what you see?
I can't think of them over the top of my head. I
Come
remember them being pretty funny.
Come on, there's got to be one that you actually there's actually one that you have to remember. Just one. It doesn't have to be all of them, just one. Anything? I mean, just. Okay. Okay, here's okay. The other we go back to the interimaginary departures and arrivals. Only this time, you saw the one that was the one that says Lilliput. Lilliput. Yes, and it's a Lilliput and Avali.
One letter P away from being a Pokemon name.
You do realize the city of Lilliput is from Gulliver's Travels. It's a name.
Did not know that.
It's a name. It's also a name of a movie as well. And to be honest, it was absolutely funny when I saw it. I mean, it was, yes. Your atmosphere is great happiness. Weather forecast, chance with some tiny arrows. So yes, the particular body size in so way. So yes, the landscape, bring as picturesque as a painted scene. Yes. Would you like to go to Lilliput, Austin Lawrence?
Doing that, don't get arrows raining down on me. I mean, it sounds like a fun place to be.
Oh, come on. It's only tiny arrows. It's like getting stung by jellyfish, but at least it's not the bees.
No, not the best.
It was hilarious. It was in Austin Bergstrom International Airport, and I had to recorded that on video and instead of taking pictures of it, I had to record it a video and let you see a city called a place called Avalion. And so yes, under the watchful eye of Mrs. Rachel. Would you love to be under the watchful eye of Mrs. Rachel, Austin? Seriously, would you like to be under the watchful eye of Mrs. Rachel?
I don't know who she is, but I don't want to put her eye anywhere near me.
Okay, would you like to go down on the swifting on the alders? Alders, it's
Sounds weird.
it's a nice place to go to. Come on, it's funny. You're supposed to go to Avonlea and being under the watchful eye of Mrs. Rachel, for crying out loud. If you don't like it, you can go to Lilliput.
Yeah, I think I'd rather take my temper slowly, but
It was, I couldn't stop laughing, especially when it comes to who made these rules by asking a question. I do, or you do, or there are no rules. What kind of question? So yeah, the question is, who make up those rules? You do, I do, or there are no rules. Who comes up with this stuff anyways? And on an interimaginary area, it's just, and, Big Cammy did mention it's like, this kind of almost reminds me a little bit of Harry Potter, but I'm not a Harry Potter type of guy, which I'm not, but he said those.
I love the Harry Potter series. I grew up on that series.
It was really funny. It was funny. So yes. What is a square and a circle would look like combined together? A square, a circle, a squaricular. Choose one of the options. Choose one. it was it was funny. It was funny. Oh, oh man, and I had so much fun time eating in a place in Texas. The barbecue brisket, my goodness, the beef, the chicken, the mashed potatoes, and all that. I enjoyed it. It was a long 2 weeks, but I'm never forget it. I'm never gonna forget it. There's no way. I'm never gonna forget for what has happened, and I love it. I absolutely love it. It's just incredible, and I'm gonna take that experience with me for the rest of my life. And I would say it is the best year of my entire life. And then after I came back from Texas, there was like about a week away to go to the Gem State Comic Con Cosplay Summerfest. And yeah, yeah. Now this time I get only to, I wear the dress up as Rey Mysterio and with the Mexican poncho, along with the Undertaker, the dead man walking from Death Valley, and and it was the first time I went to a Gem State Comic Con related in a sort of way, and I absolutely loved it, and it went great. I mean, from I don't know if knows from Idaho who are watching this live stream don't actually realize that this is a live stream in said Idaho. Mm.
Yeah, want to make sure.
Oh,
That makes a good.
oh, that is good. Shake protein because I was mowing the lawn, so there was a contest. Cosplay. Oh, yeah, I see someone in the back. Hi there.
That's my grandma.
I wish that I was going to say hi, Austin. Hi, hi, Austin's grandma. How are you? I'm,
Catholic was also there.
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. It's Kathy Smith, right?
Yeah.
Yay! I'm wearing pink. Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And so, yeah, and nice grandma. Really nice grandma.
Yeah, she's been nice.
So, yeah, I mean, however, it only lasted for 4 hours because I had to because it was in Meridian in a place where I know to go to per se. So it was in a park, outside in a park, and weather was nice, of course. If you wear something that's black under the weather in a sunny day, well, you're going to start sweating when it under wearing leather, or perhaps it was hot because wearing something black it really makes you sweat. Of course, luckily I have something to get rid of the odor to knock it out. And yeah, it was ugly. It was ugly. I mean, but I did enjoy. I endured it, and good thing I had plenty. There was water fountains around me. I mean, drinking water drinking fountains, water drinking fountains. So there you have it. And so I entered the contest for there was a contest for adults on cosplay, and then I dressed up as the Undertaker, and I do have the goatee and the mustache, and there you have it. And I'm even though I didn't win, I did it win to participate in and. Into Gem State Comic Con on that Summer Fest thing. And like I said, I'm not certain if there are those who live in Idaho don't actually realize what I'm talking about, unless if they know what I am talking about. Because I know Neo Anime Oasis may be over because ever since it began in 2001 for 20 plus years. and ended in 2023 on its final season of the final year, which I'm sad to see it go. But there was always, when there's always an end, there's always a new beginning. And my new beginning is to going to Gem State Comic Con. And so I started there. And I ever since Neo Anime Oasis ended, I know it's like, it'll be a bummer when everything is all over, but I don't think just because Neo Anime Oasis is over of its final year of its final season doesn't mean it has come to an end, even though it's already ended. But I don't mean end literally in a way. It's a new beginning. And that's where I'm look.
True,
Sorry, go ahead.
true as one goes, but one door closes, another one opens.
Right. And when I went to I participated in Gem State Comic Con on that Summerfest on September 9th. September 9th. And it was, yeah, I do see some cosplayers on Japanese anime, even though characters from Disney, the DC Comics, Marvel Comics, my gosh, you name it, even those like Tomb Raider. Yes, Laura Croft. Who wouldn't? It's
Not surprising, boy. It's been popular.
yeah, yeah, and also they're bringing it back into a remastered version of Laura Croft Tomb Raiders 1 and 2 from the from the PlayStation 1 era. They're bringing it back. They are bringing it back, you know. That's going to be on PS4, PS5, and also on the Nintendo Switch and Xbox One and Xbox Series X and S. I mean, it's incredible. Yeah, their Project Diva Vocaloid, is hardly diminished. That popularity to dress up your favorite Vocaloid, such as Hatsune Miku, for example, it is hardly diminished. It is hardly diminished. Especially characters like such as the popular character of Monkey D. Luffy from One Piece. Yeah, I would say everything comes into full circle.
Familiar with that one.
Yeah, and I think I am ready to go to the Gem State Comic Con for next year. And also there are some like other that things that are related to Gem State Comic Con, such as the one which is the Arkham Asylum dance at a penitentiary. Like really? Like okay, you know what? I would love to go there on the Arkham Knight Penitentiary dance, which is in early November. And okay, count me in. I would love to be in it. So why not? I want to go there for once, if I have the time and money wise, but that would be interesting. Of course, you can dress up your favorite Batman character, DC. It doesn't have to be DC. It can be Marvel from the Marvel Universe. It can be Japanese anime. It can be your favorite WWE wrestler, such as Rey Mysterio, The Undertaker, or The Fiend Bray Wyatt, or, you know, or the Demon Kane. You name it, you have it. Even Nintendo characters can count as such. I don't care. I mean, and also when I got into fascinated into Japanese anime, I know I wanted to go into cosplay such as the Spider-Man costumes. And after years of experience, you know, usually no one has ever told me about what to do or what to expect. No one told me this, Austin. Nobody told me. So, I mean, for those out there who are watching this video, and I'm certain, I mean, if you, for those who want to go into cosplay, and I had years of experience because when it comes to the boundaries and the territories Here's some advice and here's some tips. I'm not very. I will do my best, or should I say, I will do my better than my best to explain of what it means to be a cosplayer. Whether you're in Japanese anime, DC, DC Comics, Marvel comics, or the Marvel universe, anything, including Nintendo, which is a part of Japanese anime, Power Rangers, especially in the WWE, in the sort of way you can name it, including Disney characters. Okay, one. If you want to, so one, if anyone asks you to, if anyone asks that they would like to take a picture, you have the choice of these options. You can say yes or no. If you say yes, they would like to have a picture with you. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. If you say no, because when it comes to within the territories or the boundaries of it, that's it. No is the final answer, period. Plus, you don't want to take pictures per se without someone's permission, because if you do that without someone's permission by taking a picture, then that would be a problem, would it? And it's not right, and it's yeah, that would be a big problem. You don't want to do that. That's the second tip. Do not take a picture without someone's permission, whether it's a cosplayer or not. You can't do that. Otherwise, it's going to get you into trouble. And trust me, when it comes from experience, you have to take this responsibility into your own hands. You don't want to be held accountable for what you did. You want to be responsible to yourself and to the one who wants to have their picture taken or not. So be responsible for this. And three, when for those who are becoming a cosplayer, such as a beginner or a trainee or into your rookie years, always remember this: no matter how bad you look on a cosplay, always improve to be better than your best. When I came in, no one told me anything of how to be a better cosplayer. No one told me that. But now I'm telling you this. When it comes to Gem State Comic Cons such as this, or any anime convention or Comic Cons on other places, always, if you're a trainee or a beginner or as a rookie, always improve to be better. Always improve. Always try to find what's best for you that suits you in that said character, on that cat, and also what category that lines up within you instead of that per se character. But because you're telling us, for those who are adults, like, oh, come on, we seen that. I mean, for those who are adults who are doing the cosplay, I've seen them. I've seen adults who've done cosplay before with my very own eyes, and you're wondering, that is old school or old news. FYI, we've done it longer before you have. We're not trying to hurt anyone's feelings by saying this. We're just trying to improve to be better, the same way you are trying how to learn and how to improve to be better than your best, because what I'm trying to say is, I am passing the knowledge on to you so that you can do better than your best of what you're expecting to when it comes to Gem State Comic Con or anime conventions or the Comic Con conventions of any U.S. state. You see, that's what I'm saying. And also, as a being my own method voice acting when I'm just a method voice actor. Of course, I'm not in with any company per se, but it would be great that if I did. I mean, people hardly get to watch my videos in Idaho because they don't actually pay attention in Idaho because they don't know what they're missing, especially when it comes to those athletes from Special Olympics Idaho. I mean, my goodness. Yeah, Special Olympics Idaho. Ever since the COVID thing came in, I mean, we're trying to go into regrouped in a refurbished times, and right now we're trying to get flag football back into Idaho, but there's only one team. Boise Community is the only team that has a flag football team, while the rest do not have flag football teams in the state of Idaho. So Boise Community's the only one. And this is happening twice. Two times, 2 years in a row, no flag football teams. And if this happens like a third time when there is no flag football teams again and again and again, I would say Idaho will likely have no flag football team ever again. That means flag football will be gone forever, gone for good. There will be no flag football ever if this happens for the third time. We can't go for 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out. It can't. Because that was strike two from last year. Strike one was already 2 years ago. Strike two was last year. We can't go for strike three in the next year of 2024. We cannot do that. So, for those who are Special Olympic athletes out there in the state of Idaho, and if you guys are listening to this, which I hardly doubt that for those who live in the state of Idaho have no idea, but if you are Special Olympic athletes, and I say this, bring back flag football, for crying out loud. I don't know why, but it is time to have flag football being put back on the map in the state of Idaho, because we can't keep putting this off from time to time, because the final year of 2024 is where flag football comes in, and if it's a strike three, flag football is officially gone forever from the state of Idaho. And I, for one, do not want to see this gone in any way. Of course, because, nationals in Special Olympics in 2026, which is in Minnesota, which is in Minneapolis and St. Paul, is there. You know what? Not that many people. No, I don't. Only just the two of us chatting. Just me chatting along with you, and that was Hurricane Thomas the last time he talked, and that was it. I don't see anyone else on the chat besides you and me.
Things that way.
So,
Hey, speaking of cosplay, I know a fact. The character Noir in the Hyperdimension Neptunia series likes to cosplay.
who would that be?
Noir, the Neptunia series. Let me give you a visual aid.
Whew. Don't mind me. I was just trying to. You're still searching?
Well, I did drop one Google chat.
Okay. Hmm. If you're still searching, hopefully if you have the time. Whoa, is that that almost looks like that almost looks like Hatsune Miku in a way.
Yeah, kind of with the black hair. But
It almost looks like a character out of the Neptunia series. Sorry, Neptunia series.
yeah, that's what Noir is. In fact, she represents Sony. Sony in those Sony in the games.
Really? And I thought
Most characters in the series fight something related to gaming.
I
In the case of Noir, she represents Sony consoles. Specifically from the PS3 era.
that I did not know. I mean, I thought, usually I thought Crash, from the game Crash Bandicoot, usually was the mascot of Sony, to be honest, besides Spyro the Dragon.
Well, they were candidates, yeah. Yeah, but Sony has no real standard mascot.
What makes you say that?
It constantly changes from era to era.
I see. So, one thing, hey, Austin Lawrence, the only thing you didn't answer my question way back then when I told you about, I know the name Bell Nagumo is not it because his last name is not Nagumo because you keep on telling his name is Bell Nagumo, which I already know, which I'm smart enough that his last name is not Nagumo, but his first name is Bell.
Oh, right. That him. Okay. Yeah, he's from the Demonte series, and I'm gonna give you a bit of a fair warning right now. Well, why what is actually called Demonte anti-anime per se? It does have its fair share of edgy scenes. I mean, it's not Stay Alive or Furuta bad, but it can give like SEO levels.
In other words, Arkham.
It can kind of get that way at times.
Oh, come on. It's Arkham, just like Marvel's Spider Man.
In fact, while I'm on the subject, I might as well give you a visual aid.
You did mention he kind of looks like Hajime Nagumo minus the arm and the eye patch.
He kinda does.
I remember you saying that while you typed in the chat.
Here's a visual aid.
Oh, so Bell? What's his last name?
Cranial, I think.
Cradle? Is
Yeah.
no? Is it? Oh, I, I'm sorry. I wish I can't see the small letters are that small when it comes to a camera such as yours. Sorry. I mean, I could see visually how small it is, just not with a camera. That's a little difficult. Like, it's either 50-50 for me with hit or miss.
Yeah, it can be hard to see with a camera like that. Yeah, but I gotta work with what I have.
Right. Okay. So that would be one thing is all right, so my news, and then Six Flags and all that, and Gem State Comic Con thing. So I'm ready to go to Gem State Comic Con in 2024. I already bought the tickets for myself because it was a pretty good price, cheap, and it was a great discount. The price was cut in half. 50% off, to be honest, and now it might go higher now, ever since it'll get closer. It'll be on April 6th and 7th. So that is my guess because it'll last for 2 days. I happen to know where exactly it is. I know exactly where it is, and it's no secret to from where it's going to be at. And by the way, now into WWE 2K22. So here's the biggest one that actually made you think Isaac's return.
Yeah, Jake made his comeback.
So how why he was so finally he came back all of a sudden because I mentioned when he I called him the former Lock. The former Lock.
Yeah, that was something that came up in the Goldeneye LP.
So the why was he called the Lock per se? Well, because the name of the Lock kind of relates to the story from 2K23 of the My Rise storyline, which is going to be the next Let's Play until the entire Let's Play of the My Rise storyline of 2K22 is over, because that will go into the next series of from what you saw with Karai along with Carla Von Zucchino in a way, because into the mix, because with Schism and all, they've been infiltrating this ever since Fastlane, on that live stream of Fastlane, if you recall. And there was only two groups, the RWO and the New Corporate Ministry, and all of a sudden Schism has infiltrated both secretly, not realizing that both of these groups don't even realize that Schism has infiltrated them and started to infect the ones with the beginning with with the antibodies from ever since, like Mega Man X5 fighting Sigma several times.
Yeah, I remember all that.
So basically, let's start from what happened at the end of episode 20. Both episodes on Leo's story and Karai's story. Well, actually, yeah. So I know I haven't. I already uploaded videos of the My Rise storyline of Leo's story. So I'm gonna kind of save that for later. But the end of episode 20 is what happens next, along with that, with Karai's story of episode 20 that began with it to episode 21 and beyond. So what was your so what were your reaction, or what are your thoughts, or could you explain to me in details?
Well, the last Karate one we saw was involved essentially spoiling their plan, spoiling Schism's plans. Also, so I think taking the TFU to go T in a second was pretty cool.
Well, yes. I mean, Isaac was like, yeah, now, I mean, you see Hajime Nagumo on that comic strip visual novel thumbnail, along with Gino and Isaac, of those who, I mean, there's, I'm like, of course, why is Hajime Nagumo brought into that place? And like, he won't. So he, after realizing, he kind of recognized them somewhere before, and finally he knows who they are. You think? Do you? Yes. I mean, the Schism actually knows what Hashime Nagumo's intentions are, if you want to know. So, if you didn't realize this, how come it's right there? It was right there, to be honest, Austin Lawrence. I mean, how would it not be right in front of you?
Honestly, honestly, that I'm
Yeah.
not sure how to explain it myself.
Really? So, it's I'm trying to make sense at all. But do you? I mean, any idea? Any idea what's? Oh, jeez. I mean, do you have like any idea? I mean, okay. I mean, beginning like an episode 20. All right, episode 21. Of course, the end of that episode 20 of Leo's storyline of what you saw. I do have it right with me, so this is gonna. Okay, so yes, Hajime Naguma said those women. I had a feeling I seen them somewhere before. You gotta be kidding me! You're Cure Twilight in disguise, and the other girl is Cure Twinkle. And he said, I kind of knew you looked familiar before. You were all infiltrating the RWO and the new corporate ministry. Are you saying that with my help or not to erase Goku Black, I'll be tossed out like garbage? And he said, you're all insane. Leave my wives out of this or else. And he says, I'm not a monster. This isn't what I want, not like this.
But to be fair, Colin Hodgson's not entirely inaccurate due to his mutation.
Then why does Schism call him he's a monster? Why did he say I'm not a monster? Why did he say that? The Schism knows he is one. You cannot say he's not, even though he says I'm not a monster.
Well, knowing Hodgson's motives initially in its theories, its main goal was to survive and get home. Afterwards, this was kind of briefly touched upon by one of the Flabber trials and to a lesser extent the ending of the series. But Hajime kind of struggles with the idea of what, living a normal life with the powers he has.
And now he's experiencing this like this all over again. Only this time he is now captured, and now he's being facing upon the members of Schism that he finally recognizes who they are before. And now Isaac is going to be targeted as one of the leaders of the RWO, and now he realizes who that he has recognized them before as well. And listen, and listen what. Yes, and Yukari Kotozume. Of course, she's from a she's from another Japanese anime version of Glitter Force called Precure a la Mode. Precure a la Mode.
That reminds me, there was this, when I was doing some duels and dueling book, I come across, there was twice, I do believe, there was a guy that used a Glitter Force themed custom deck.
Really? So someone was actually wondering how this happened. I don't know. Perhaps pay attention when I create custom characters of WWE's of the magical girl genre, like such as Precure. Not to mention Glitter Force, because it's the same people that created Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z, Toei Animation.
There was a couple instances where there was this one custom duel site based on Duel Book that used a Dragon Ball themed custom deck.
Uh, okay, so let me. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. So she said, "Allow me." Okay, Yukari. They say they're from the future. They explain that Goku Black may be a visionary and all, but he's an irredeemable monster. That was Queen Yukari Kotozumi is Queen, and Kotozumi to be transformed into that. And what I see is those who are willing to destroy you and Jonathan will be terminated. And Hajime knows this. He knows this. He does. He know the Schism knows that he has that eraser shot of his, And he can't deny it. They know that even though he tries to hide it, he knows he cannot deny from what is worth. Even if he tries to eliminate Goku Black, it's not going to get rid of the curse. It will not. It'll only make things worse. It's not going to get rid of the curse because how Hajime Nagumo kind of not thought of this far ahead. You can't be stupid because you can't erase someone to lift the curse. It's not gonna lift the curse. It will not. It will not. The only way it'll be lifted is you give in to Goku Black's will. Nothing else. But so it will not until we get to a little bit forward onto WrestleMania Backlash. So, which I know you're kind of like, oh no, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I am Austin Lawrence, and I don't want to hear it. But at least try to hear me out on this if you can, if you know what I mean. So yes, and then you see Shadow Glitter Lucky, and then because she says first, Snookums, remember what happened in Mega Man X5? First was Dr. Gate, then the cyborg, and finally Goku Black again. And she said, don't get me wrong, I still hate him, but the antibodies that he recovered since Dr. Gate, he's able to experiment on souls of the women he removed. I have the antibodies just like them. The future will be unchanged if Goku Black is erased. You were able to defend your WWE title until your last match with Braun Strowman. And so, yeah, this is where, yeah, Schism infiltrate, and this is where they take over. They attacking both groups, infiltrating ever since Fastlane, and guess what? No one is safe from Schism on both groups. And yeah, yeah, and then Queen Yukari Kotozumi says to Hajime, says the ones who are insane are the ones who are willing to erase the bloodlines of Gino and Jonathan. That makes them monsters. We'll give you time, Hajime, but like I said, with or without you. And he's like, I keep this secret to yourself if I were you, especially Karai. And she says, oh, you didn't know? How unfortunate. Why not ask her yourselves? Like, Gino didn't actually know this, including Isaac. Like, wait a minute, how is Karai involved with this, with Hajime Nagumo in a sense of way? Remember when I say that? Remember when I said who is the one who goes under the radar this whole time? And Big Cammy thinks it's Quinella the whole time. Actually, the one under the radar, this operation of this whole time is none other than Karai.
Yeah. It's clear based on all this that Cry knows more as he's left on.
And she didn't. And Gino and Jonathan don't even know this. They didn't have a clue. They know who Goku Black is, but they didn't even know Karai is on this under the radar of operations. I mean, under the radar of the new Nexus. How are they supposed to know this? And they want to question them. They want to question on this. How is Karai connected with all this? And why did she bring in Hajime Nagumo along with the Nagumo family members? Why? Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Yeah, it kind of makes you wonder.
So why would Hajime Nagumo has a method to erase Goku Black? Because even if he does, he's going to be tossed out like garbage or worse, killed off. That means whether they want his help or not, they'll kill him off. And Hajime is just like, he's having second thoughts on this. Does he realize what a mistake he's going to make? Because why? Because he's having second thoughts.
Yeah, it was clear that this was not going the way he hoped.
And why did Queen Yukari says, "I keep this secret to yourself if I were you, especially Karai. I keep this secret to yourself if I were you." Like, what? So, of course, Queen Yukari knows something about Hajime Nagumo, a secret so deep she actually knows this. Schism actually knows this. And if you remember about the live streams of what you saw ever since after WrestleMania Backlash, he mentioned the name Veritas.
Yeah, that's a thing that's come up quite a bit.
He was working under a group named Veritas, and that leader was Dr. Swan. Of course, why did I come up with the name Veritas? Actually, the group name Veritas is from the DC Comics. If you want to know, it's from it was the adventures and the stories of Superman. You know, with Clark Kent. And the leader is Dr. Swan, the one who is the leader of Veritas, of course. And he had a daughter before his passing, and well, during his passing, Dr. Emily Swan. It is based on the DC Comics. So yeah, it was right there if you want to know. I mean, unless you pay attention on the TV show series called Smallville.
It's been a bad minute since I've seen Smallville.
So I thought I put in Veritas into that group within, and it actually works, to be honest, to fit into that storyline nicely. Of course, and Isaac, or his real name is Jonathan, can't move because why? He does not have the antibodies. Of course, he is the twin like Gino, but does not have these said antibodies. Why he does not have them? Is it because his DNA is similar to that of Gino, but slightly different?
That is true.
And this is why you can't. And wow, I think I might go get a cup of water if this happened to like. So yes. Ooh. When you come to stretch your flexible arms and legs, you need to stand up and I'm wearing pink, see? Pink clothing. See, pink. I'm not. So yeah. Then and then Isaac sees Cure Twilight coming in, and he calls him Pookie Bear. And Cure Twinkle said that you're the main leader of the RWO and has eyes for you. And she said, I do too as well. And she's gonna try to raise those levels and see how her lips will come in across hers. It's like, oh no, 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 no. And then Gino would see this and he says, no, enough. And he says, all right, stop. I'll stop. He says, I'll come closer if you want to know. So I think he has no choice but to just give in to the demands of Schism for now. And it seems Hajime Nagumo has no choice as well. And you see Kurohilda von Tokisaki. I mean, and then she met, and then and then and of course, Pure Twilight said something to Jonathan, whispered in his ear, in a secret so twisted that he does not want to know, and then all of a sudden it's like a complete shock in his eyes and ears. It's like, what? What did she whisper in Jonathan's ear? You don't want to know, but I'm saving that juicy stuff way later. Of course,
It's always a good idea to keep some surprises. What?
it's of course she did left a clue. She did left a clue on the next comic strip visual novel thumbnail, and guess what? Of course, Ikura Hilda von Tokisaki. She said Isaac will be fine, just a memory loss. And she continues on and says, like I said, Queen Tozuma declares she wants you, Hajime, to keep this secret to yourself until you admit you are a monster of you know who and let your harem figure this out. No tricks or else. So yeah, Hajime knows what he's gotten into. If he tries to spill the beans after, so he can't say this right now, but he knows this. So he wants to let the ones such as Gino and Jonathan to find out first. Because if Hajime Nagumo makes one stupid mistake, he knows he's gonna be more than just having being tossed out like garbage or killed off. His harem will be next. He knows this. He can't. And also, how will he pull this off? He's not going to do his eraser shot. Do you think he's smart enough to do this?
Not really. Especially since that technique is demanding a magic cost. When he used that spell against Iet, the main antagonist of the Brunette, next, he temporarily died.
So what does he do on this right now? On this situation, he can't. What is he gonna do right now? Because you know what'll happen if he. Because he's got to admit that he is a monster. Schism is telling you have to admit that you are a monster.
The only thing I can really think of is that he kind of played smart.
So there, and usually I'm gonna say this, but Pure Twilight really knows how to break someone's will, even those who are strong-willed, and Hajime Nagumo is no exception. And he's gonna start breaking she's gonna peel the curtain off little by little, and to find out, then telling him to repeat the words over and over again, and also finding ways and like the of how to get inside your head, like literally and not in a good way. Oh, so yeah, like be ready for that, pal. I don't know how that's gonna work out for you. Can you seriously not do this to me? Cause I don't know what to say. I don't know. Perhaps it's your destiny. I don't know. For you know what? I don't. Of course, and you see the leader, Joe Gacy, which I put into the comic strip visual novel thumbnail, and then Gino knows like. Yeah, he recognized who Joe Gacy is, the leader of Schism, which I thought it would be a great idea to put into someone from WWE. And yeah, and he tells him that like the grass is greener on the other side with this group, look, he says, "I'm quite happy to see that you accomplished like Kurai did. How rude of me, but it seems that those who work on both groups did a great job under my roof. Hajime Nagumo, you really want to erase Goku Black in your own time. Happy endings it will, but not for you. Austin Nagumo, what I see is a hero. But what I really see is someone who will take down a hero as well. Jonathan, who's Isaac, You were a nobody, but then you became a somebody. You can do anything you want with your group, even with Karai, an alternate version of Karai because of you. This is where the grass is greener on the other side, right here. Welcome, everyone, to the world of Schism, my tree of friends you've met right here. Like, leader of Schism, look, I only believe, this is what Hajime would say, because I only believe that erasing Goku Black was the best idea to free Gino, but it seems it won't work. You're out of your mind. I won't do it for all of you.
And you know what the scary part is?
What?
He was right.
Really? Tell me, what was he right about?
The predictions he made.
He knew, so he actually knows, which is scary to be honest, that your character will kill off Gino, and then your character become the villain of all time to retain the title because of the stipulation that Gino dies on the next day, never to be revived or to be brought back of any place of any time.
Of course, as we know, it was exactly time that brought back because of the loophole.
Of course, the loophole which I mentioned that will like, be shown in Tron Evolution. Of course, the thing is, in Tron, it's a movie license game because Tron came in first before Sword Art Online, before Pokemon, before Digimon. Tron came in first. Without Tron, you won't have Sword Art Online. You won't have Digimon. You won't have Pokemon. That or including Axel World. Tron came in first, and it was made by Disney. So I'm sorry, but that came in first. So the truth be told. So there you have it. That's how it is. And that's why I'll do a that game let's play next after because since GoldenEye is over, 007 GoldenEye, so we need Tron Evolution. The thing is, if the music is copyright claimed on YouTube, this means I'll have to do it on a Facebook exclusive only on my web page in my Facebook page. And that means you're going to have to see it. That's on Facebook, not on YouTube at all. It can't be on YouTube. It has to be on Facebook if this happens. So I'm sorry, but I have no choice. If this happens, Austin Lawrence, because you gotta face the reality, you gotta face it, because YouTube's algorithm is so messed up.
I understand.
So if it's on Facebook, you have to watch it on Facebook. No choice, no exceptions. No exceptions.
If that's what I gotta do, so be it.
And also, the same thing goes for the Arkham games of Batman that I would love to do as a live stream, such as Batman Arkham City and Arkham Knight as well. Plus, Project Diva Vocaloid. I can't do it on YouTube because of the music. It's too complicated and it's too frustrating. I can't not do that on YouTube anymore. Facebook only. No exceptions, Austin. You're going to have to come to Facebook and to create an account of your own. And I told you this before, you don't have to join a club. It's like Discord.
I know. Ugh. If that's what I gotta do to see some of your content, so be it.
Yeah, that's how it is. I mean, I can't do it on Discord because I left because of the consequences you made. Which I don't want to talk about, but I don't want to go back to it.
Yeah, the less said about that, the better.
Correct. So, so you know, I mean, all this. I mean, they're looking at an alternate version of Karai. Then they're looking at right now is Carla Von Tsukino. Of course, so, Gino says, Hajime, is this true? You were going to erase my bio father like ahead of time? You know that he won't erase my curse in Isaac's. You know, realize how stupid Hajime Nagumo is, my thinking on that? You can't do that. It's just not gonna work. We already know that. So, yes, we get it. We get it. So, like, we heard that like 1,000 times already. And Gina wants to know, and like, why Karai not telling us about her undercover mission? Why would do this under me and my brother's nose? How is this possible? Like, why is Karai the brains of the operation? Was she kind of the brains of the operation to go under the radar of with a new nexus per se?
That's what because Cry probably didn't want Gino or Isaac involved.
I mean, is this the reason why was she trying to protect them and not let them get involved in such a way or in such a situation?
That seems the most logical conclusion I can come to based on what we know.
Oh man! And now your character comes in because, like I said, so those who we saw are followers of Schism. Joe Gacy, you are their leader. You honestly think I'm going to take down a hero who's like me? The squirrels must love you because you are nuts. I, for one, didn't know about Dad's mission on getting rid of Goku Black.
Yeah, because I got no part in Hachi's plan.
So, especially when it comes to WrestleMania Backlash, when he is correct on this, you became the villain. Your character became the villain of the story, and every
But at that time, my character didn't know that.
I
It was only
know.
until WrestleMania Backlash when all that occurred.
Of course, you want. Of course, Gino would want to be free from the curse as much, just like Isaac. But you can't have both. You cannot have both. You want to have the curse lifted so much, so badly, or do you want to live long enough to see yourself to become the villain, or die as a and by and not having that by just dying as a hero? I mean, you which one is like more important? I mean, you'll try to win that WCW United States Heavyweight title because if either he wins or Goku Black wins under a triple threat elimination match rules where there are no countouts and no disqualifications. So, which would you prefer? I mean, what is the most important thing that you would want to do? I mean, do you want to have the curse lifted, or would you rather win by winning that WCW United States title, or would you rather live long enough to see yourself to become rather live long enough to see yourself to become the villain, even though the curse would be lifted by Goku Black, and we would say that I will lift the curse. But if I lose and yourself, then guess what? Gino dies the next day. The curse will not be lifted.
Well, that's a very good question. Because sometimes you gotta do what needs to be done.
So you have to do the unthinkable choice. It was not an easy choice. And he decided that he would rather lose than winning a title to have the curse lifted because the weight of that burden just outweighs the one to having that curse for the rest of your days.
So, of course, if the events of Trivolution are gonna be anything to go by, it doesn't quite go as Goku Black planned.
that loophole from Tron Evolution is going to be Goku Black's downfall because he does not even realize a part of it. I know, make this up, but I come up with this name. MA/origin.NIN is a where part of where Kevin Flynn actually did something that not unlike any other is it's about the system monitor, and that system monitor is actually not just an AI. It's a system monitor has a complete digitized DNA embodied within and into something, and that DNA is something that's connected. That one loophole is that one thing, and that system monitor is that protagonist. The one, the same one who got erased from WrestleMania Backlash after.
Yeah.
And he doesn't, and he did not actually pay much close attention enough. So this is why that loophole comes in. And also, a part of that loophole is where Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2 in a revisit will come in as well.
Speaking of Star Wars, I've been playing a lot of Star Wars The Old Republic as of late. I even made you a character in that game.
The Old Republic, not Knights of the Old Republic?
Yeah, The Old Republic.
Okay, that's on PC, so I'm aware of it.
I played then, I made you a character in that game. You're a Republic trooper.
Okay, so here we go. She, Queen Yukari Kotozume says, I may be queen, but Joe Gacy's leader of Schism. Think of him as a narrator and a guide. Karai is willing to want to get rid of Goku Black, especially with the help of Hajime Nagumo, including those of you know who, with new allies of hers. And we're going to expand Schism. Each and every woman of both groups will become like us under Joe Gacy's watch. Our rule and yours will be together forever. Karai's not the woman she is. You want to know what Cure Twilight told Isaac, and why not ask her? And this is a clue. I mean, she gave a hint away of a clue. And this is what Cure Twilight says this. Calls herself Tanya, but her real name is Akagi Toa. She's from Go Princess Precure, another Japanese anime version of Glitter Force. She says this. Gino and Jonathan, whether you like it or not, both of you are in a no-win scenario, even the others. Karai's the one who's pulling the strings, even on the new Nexus with a new name. Like, what? Now they're starting to realize, so it is all Karai's doing to having this so-called group of the new Nexus, even under a new name, the new corporate ministry. It's like they are shocked and they are beyond in disbelief. Like, what? Like, like, why would she? Why? Why is she the brains of the operation? Why didn't she tell us to get involved with it? Because it's, oh, you, what is it's like, but aren't thought we're supposed, but yes, but she does not want those to get involved with. How can she ask for help with such as the Nagumos, not to mention characters from fairy tales such as Lucy Hartfilia, Ursa Scarlet, and Kagura Mikazuki? What do you expect? With the help of Quinella and Monica? And not to mention the other members such as like Red Hood, Doctor Doom, Akuma. My goodness. Deathstroke? Really? Those people, members of the new corporate ministry. And listen what she says. I told Isaac of how I came to be from you, Gino. And she said this: you married of who glitters and those you know of. Who glitters and those you that's a really big clue. She just said that because that was a really big clue. She said you married of who glitters and those you know of. She knows who she's talking about. Who glitters.
Mm-hmm.
So do you happen to have do you have any idea who she knows? Because that is the clue is in the name of what she just said in capitalizations.
No glitters. That definitely sounds like Air Force characters to me.
Yes. Yes, and you are on the right track. And this is actually getting interesting, but it's also will get pretty scary in how she's going to say this even more from more later on. Correct. Well, Hilla von Tokisaki said, I took care of Karai. She feels like she lost her own soul to bet on, and not to worry, her body will be taken care of. You are looking at Carla, an alternate version of Karai. This is where the grass is greener on the other side. We start off where she's Raw Women's Champion here, and they cannot actually believe that they're seeing Carla as the alternate version of Karai. And then you see, and then the next victim, the first victim they will get is Lucy Hartfilia. Lucy Hartfilia. And you see the leader of Schism, Joe Gacy, there, and then mentioning about Lucy's name because she lost the NXT Women's title, if you recall, back at WrestleMania live stream of what I did.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was Kasane Teto won the NXT Women's title at WrestleMania because she won the Elimination Chamber and she earns a title shot to go to WrestleMania and she chose Lucy Hartfilia.
And we all know how that turned out.
And now now Lucy Hartfilia she said she was willing to help Karai, but she lost the NXT Women's title to Kasane Teto at WrestleMania. Karai kind of told me of how to get rid of Goku Black. Why did he tell me that I'll have his son? Why did Goku Black told to Lucy Hartfilia that I'll let you have my son? I mean, why did he say that? He said that earlier. If you paid attention on the comic strip visual novel thumbnail, because ever since during Super Mario Galaxy between the RWO and the new Nexus, he said that to her. I'll let you have my son if you help me.
Knowing Goku Black, he was probably making using Lucy's feelings for her character to his advantage.
Using Lucy's feelings for his advantage or something?
That was the most logical clues that I can think of based on what we know.
It's not like he had any problems. I mean, he says I'll have it. Why he said why Lucy said why did Goku Black tell me that I'll have his son? I mean, come on, to be honest, she wants to have she's my Natsu. She did mention that she is my Natsu.
Yeah, she did say that.
And she became the first victim to have the antibodies now within. And then Queen Yukari Kotozume has Isaac in her corner and sees Lucy Hartfilia, and now she got infected with this, and to become more open-minded. And then as well as you can see with here comes Siren. She's a character from Sweet Precure. That's another Japanese anime version of Glitter Force. Sweet Precure. Suite. So yeah, like I said, if you pay attention when it comes on the magical girl genre, because that's how it is. They make a lot more of that than what I see. Uh, So so yeah, once again, so Siren says Carla hasn't been pinned down to the count of three or being submitted for the entire 15 minutes because of that Iron Woman match. Five women in the ring during a battle royal until Carla's the last one standing. Seeing her doing this is way better than Karai of her personal being. Isaac, you realize that she's the real deal, and so are we, and you'll be a part of us. And yes, Isaac remembers Siren. Yes, she the Siren. And
Of course, that all went up in smoke when Carla's like, hey,
we're,
take the dead.
we'll get to that later. We'll get to that later. We'll get to that later. Okay. We'll get to that later on. I promise you that. We still got time, but we'll get to that later on. I promise you that. So of course, Isaac does admit when Queen Kotozumi said, Carla's a wonderful woman is the better version. I know she has some moves of Karai, but better. You can't take your eyes off of her, don't you? Look how strong she is. She's going to become a part of Schism like you. Beautiful, brains and brawn, and sexy looking. It's like, what? And Jonathan admits this. He does admit this. He says he does admit it. He does admit Carla's better. He does admit it, but he says no kissing me, and I still can't move. And he's being kissed by Queen Kotozuma, as you can imagine, or you can see on the comic strip visual novel thumbnail.
Yeah, I saw that.
Well, if you pay attention, that is. I mean, you could see it, and then of course, they're calling him Pookie Bear because during her time with Asami Yamamoto back then. But that's gonna be another time for another Let's Play in the near future as well. The game called My Sweet Bully.
Yeah, you did bring that up in the past. I thought that does kind of remind me of that line from Fire and Three Houses where Bernadette was referred to as Bernie Bear.
Okay, okay. Why? You wait a minute. Hold on a second. You're not gonna say. You're not. I'm. This is gonna be the most dumbest idea, but you don't think that Bernadetta would say Pookie Bear to Jonathan, would you? Because I don't know. That would be.
I didn't see her as the type. Although, if anything, I consider her like, now you know how I feel whenever Austin calls me Bernie Bear. Seriously, that nickname was so embarrassing.
Of course, Bernadetta might like the idea of calling someone Pookie Bear in a way. That would be Jonathan.
I can kind of see it.
Okay, next one. Okay, and then on the next comic strip visual novel thumbnail, you'll see. And then, yeah, once again, Carla. I mean, it's like, where is Karai? I thought this was Karai's story. It is, but it's Carla's story from now on because Schism, the leader of Schism, is narrating, and that is Joe Gacy. So the grass is greener on the other side. Hooray! So it's also, and then you see, guess who shows up right there? Byleth. It's like Jonathan is like seeing the original Bible, and he says, Isaac, I know how you feel. There's something you should know about these women that you need to know. These women are the future, and so am I. I'm not who you think I am. I'm not from both groups. Allow me to show you my real form. Who has eyes for you? Come closer to me. Pookie Bear to my lips. Like, what? So I didn't think of her, Joe. I don't know why. Then Violet, he says, Violet, you're here. Help me out. Wait a minute. What are you doing? You're not Violet. Who are you? And her name is Sothis. Like, what? It's like, well, this is kind of confusing, but to me it isn't. It's like, how are you doing this? And then you see Kotori Itsuka right there on that comic strip visual novel thumbnail. Like, she's starting to actually getting really jealous of what she's seeing now, is she? So it's like Isaac said, You're not Byleth. Who are you? And then she says, I'm Byleth, all right. I'm Sothis, fully awakened in this body, now mine. Yes, I'm pretty. However, we can't make Kotori jealous of this. It's normal for her. What's not normal for you, Kotori, is that your true potential was being held back from your tag partner. And she is saying this ever since NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver on that live stream because she knows this.
Yeah, that's what happened.
And yeah, I mean, of course, Isaac or Jonathan, his real name is Jonathan, who goes by another name of Isaac. And Queen Kotozume says, Your face is blushing. Haven't you seen a beautiful woman such as Sothis? She's really pretty, like Carla. And Kotori, you're not jealous of Sothis, are you? It's okay, your tag team partner was holding you back. We aren't. Like, how is how is Kotori reacting on this? Like, how is she? Because she's now seeing Schism for the first time, and now this, and now she's seeing Isaac.
Knowing Kotori, he probably would be confused, jealous, and a whole bunch of different emotions. Excuse me, man, my grandma wants to do something.
Yeah, go ahead. Um, wow, there was four people watching, and now back to two, and I don't know what's going on. And then she said, Toka left me when we both lost the tag team gold. She wanted like Joe Gate, Joe Gacy tells to Kotori and says, Kotori, would you want to be a happier person than your tag team partner before? And she said, Toka left me when we both lost the tag team gold. If only I should have reached my full potential, we would have not lost. Isaac, why do you have eyes on Byleth? And now she realized, like, that Schism would want to help her to reach her full potential than not her full potential. So if it means joining Schism, I'm all in. And she is now a part of Schism with the antibodies. And the next you have is Alice Zuberg.
That's not gonna sit well with Kurohito at all.
Uh, she's the next one. Why? Because do you remember how when she lost a title in a per se, like the women's European title? Well, that was in a live stream if you want to remember. Remember, this is all connected. The live streams with that said between Fastlane and WrestleMania Backlash, it happened. It actually happened. So, and this is what Joe Gacy said to this. Alice, your page into the script will be unlike any other. Your script for Schism has finally come. And all of a sudden, this happens, and you see Hatsune Miku, but in a different clothing. It's like it's not a module. It's actually clothing of Kurumi Tokisaki. Like what? Do you remember that part? Is like yes,
Yeah, I forgot that part.
and she has that eye left clock eye on her eye because well, she said, Isaac, I understand what's going on. I realized that when I felt something wrong, I realized that I wasn't the same person. This body of a Vocaloid is now mine. Now I have you, Pookie Bear. Kuramiku Hatsune Toki Saki is my name. Alice, you can be our eyes and ears on both groups. Schism can give you Leo and Isaac. Your role is yours. So like, what? And and Queen, of course, she did explain like she said this body of a Vocaloid is now mine, and then Queen Kotozume says, "Oh, Jonathan, Hatsune Miku's body may be the same, but with the twist of her molecular makeup, Kurumiku Hatsune Tokisaki can't resist to take your eyes off you. The soul of Kurumi remained in her for all eternity." So, in other words, she got experimented upon because, well, Kurumi Tokisaki's soul got switched up of the body of a Vocaloid of another. I'm guessing doing experiments from one universe to another. And guess what happens? Kurumi Tokisaki in a body of Hatsune Miku, well, soul, now changed forever, and she actually loves this body of that type of Vocaloid. Wow, and Isaac realizes that she recognizes Hatsune Miku, but she has that clock eye on the left eye, and it's pretty twisted. Like a horror movie.
Messed up.
Messed up. Really, and like all this. It's like, well, you're turning into a horror movie of this series of 2K22. So, and then Alice says, Isaac, what's. So Alice.
And this is gonna be full he's really in a horror yet.
Oh, Alice says, Isaac, what's going on? Miku, why are you dressed up like Kurumi Tokisaki and your eye it looks like Kurumi's? Who are you all? And like a group of schism, and when she remembers, like, when I lost my title, I couldn't defend the others. I felt like Karai wasn't there for me, and you are giving me a role? Yes, they're giving her a role. I mean, because she lost the women's European title and she doesn't have it anymore. It's like when she lost the title, she wasn't able to defend like the others. Like she kind of like wasn't the same as she was when she lost the title, if you recall. And she said, if it means to protect Isaac and Leo, then I want it, and I want it, I want it. And once again, Jonathan is being suffered from the being kissed by Queen Kotozume again and again. And then you have two more Sailor Scouts on the next comic strip visual novel thumbnail. And look what happens next. And then this is what Joe Gacy would say. You two Sailor Scouts could use some action. I know you don't get much attention. The grass is green, always greener, and there's always room for you two to show it. And yes, it was the original Sailor Mercury and the Shadow or Dark Sailor Mercury. And this is what they want, and this is what the original one says. Room for two. I only do my best to give what I have. It's not that I needed attention. It's just that I was too busy on other things. Karai is pulling her weight, but I should have done the same with her, except she is not here. And if only we would be an unstoppable team in case. We would appreciate it if you give us what we want. That's and then this is what Dark or Shadow Sailor Mercury would say, I always thought that being in the RWO would boost our numbers, but I guess I didn't do my best to impress them enough. Amy, we should have done more because Karai would have gave us something more. Joe Gacy, Queen Kotozumi, Amy and I are willing to be a part of your group. We want what we require, and that would be Gino and Jonathan. So yes, and they are the next victims of Sailor Scouts. And Jonathan says, "Not you, Amy and Veronica. Veronica would be the other Sailor Scout. That would be Dark Shadow that would be Sailor Shadow or Dark Sailor Mercury in a way. Because he said Veronica. And he said, you're all insane. And Schism is all insane.
Then two. Got it. Sorry, my grandma was calling out to me.
And and this is what Queen Kotozume said. I told you, Pookie Bear, I would never hurt you. Gino, your lady allies of the RWO and the women of the new corporate ministry. Yeah, that's what she said. Amy and Veronica, you're both Sailor Scouts, and I, for one, know that you should have gotten more than what you needed. I can give it to you, no questions asked. You'll be a part of Schism. Like, Veronica, care to join me? It seems that Pookie Bear needs our help. Like, oh no. I'm fine. Oh. Oh. And now on the next comic strip visual novel thumbnail, that was episode 27 in Karai's story. And and now you see both Sailor Scouts, and then you see Cure Twilight. Well, actually, Cure Twinkle, my bad. There was Alice Zuberg, Lucy Harphilia, Kurumi von Toki, Kurohila von Tokisaki, and there's Kuromiku Hatsune Tokisaki, Shadow Glitter Lucky, and now Queen Kotozume. And remembering this about a fatal four-way match and like everything, like this, and then Jonathan speaks about in a defense of like this and that, and this is what Queen Kotozumi and I on the final sentence. She said, "With you, Gino, and Carla in our ranks of Schism, this harem will be growing. Toa and Siren will be here shortly. One last kiss, and your heart opens." And this is what Jonathan says. If I go down as one of the leaders of the RWO now, I would trade all of this here in a heartbeat. These women with the antibodies they have, they don't deserve it. You don't. It's not too late. Let me help you. If Carla's real, she would know this. I'm sorry, everyone, and if I can only move my body here. Like he's thinking to that himself on that last sentence. So what did you see here from on that comic strip visual novel thumbnail of episode 27?
Well, Isaac being a trooper he is, wants to help them.
I know, and he was getting kissed by Queen Kotozuma very much, and and what did she mean?
Isaac, I did model a character after him in Star Wars: The Old Republic, where he's a Sith Inquisitor.
Uh, why would he be a Sith Inquisitor?
Well, that was the only slot I had available at the time.
Come on, it's not like Lord Draken or something.
Like I said, that was the only slot. I mean, I thought about making a comic trooper, but that slot was taken by
one last kiss and your heart opens. Now, this is troubling. Why? I bet you know what that means.
Yeah, one guess the seal is safe.
How will and how and if yeah, one more last kiss, he's just going to become like them in a way because he does not have the antibodies and he knows that there is no way out for him. And now we get to the one that we've been waiting for. Was it episode 28? And there were characters you've seen from the characters out of Dragon Ball Fighters. Jiren, and there was Cooler again, who came back again, Cooler again, and also Hit, the assassin Hit, who travels like in the speed of time, not like the speed of light in time, like one end to the other. He can like stop time and then go behind, like he can do that. And then you see Bardock, and you see Vegito, then you see Gogeta, and now you finally see Queen Kotozume, then you see Siren, and then Cure Twilight, and they're like all infuriating. And then you also see Vegeta, and then he said, Vegeta, are you trying to get a hold of me by communicating me through the mind void? I can't fuse physically with you. Then Vegito say, I'm communicating with you in soul. I was told by a person who sent us. I didn't catch her name, but she said you need help. You, Gino, and Kakarot and I are linked. Remember that. Let go of attachment of those women and fuse as one now. And and then Queen Kotozume would say one last kiss will help you to see what I see. And since Joe Gacy isn't here because she knows she can handle things without him, well, from time to time, but he trusts me enough that like in the second in command. So he brought up some muscle, then that would be Jiren. That would be uh, Jiren hit Jiren and Hit and Cooler. So I forgot to add that name. That was my fault. Cooler, jeez. And then Bardock says, "You actually think your tricks against Gina was flawless? You'll regret that. This isn't my first time facing you," which means they fought for the first time, and this is the second time because they fought for the first time in Leo's storyline, which actually took place for the first time, and this is the second time. The second. I mean the second time. Because these storylines are happening at the same time with Schism. If you want to recall. So, I mean, Vegeta says, I was told by a person who sent us, and I didn't catch her name, but she said you need help. Who was that person that he didn't catch her name? Because the thing is, Schism doesn't actually really knew this until it was too late. So guess who was the one? And now they're seeing another fusion form, and they say, "Oh no, not another fusion form." They see, and they're seeing this the second time. That means they actually saw this the first time, which happened already in Leo's storyline. I told you this before. It's happening at the same time, if you want to remember. So both of these storylines are connected. It's happening at the same time on that part. So Vegito was ready for round two in Super Saiyan Blue, and then all of a sudden you see Vegeta and Isaac, whose real name is Jonathan, join going into fusion form. Into fusion form. And guess what happens? And they say the bodies of Vegeta and Jonathan are now combined into one. I didn't fuse physically. I was fused to be linked. So you were going to make that one final kiss to seal Isaac's fate. Too bad for you. You were being utterly pointless. I'm Gogeta the Second, and all you three won't make it out of here alive. We are going to wipe you off the face of the planet right now. And seeing and Queen, Yukari Kotozume saw this, another fusion form, which means twice. She saw this twice because go back into Leo's story means you'll see it once, and now she's seeing this for the second time. And guess who just spilled the beans? And he said, and guess who was that person? And that was Carla Von Tsukino. And this is what she said. Do you honestly believe I would join Schism, Queen Kotozume, including you, Siren, and Akagi Toa? I was paying attention this whole time, and I do hear every word you said, my past and present. I played you all like a fiddle. I sent word to Vegeta, Bardock, and Gino. He said to me, save Isaac first, and I did. Looks like Schism was being played this whole time. And guess what happens? And they're all absolutely furious. Wow, no one talking in the chat. That was it. That. This is sad news.
Well, look at my side. He's got me here.
So this is what she that's what she said. And then Yukari said, not again. There's no way that you can possibly hear us. It was a perfect plan, and I was this close to have Pookie Bear to marry me and all of the women I've chosen for him. Carla Von Tsukino, you ruined me not once, but twice. And she said, don't think this is over. When Gino wins at WrestleMania Backlash, I'm coming for you, Carla. Isaac will be ours. Siren Toa, time for Plan B. And Gogeta says something to those two as well, besides Queen Kotozume. This is what he said. Is that all you got? What a letdown! I'm going to remain in this fusion form until none of you touches Isaac for all I care. What's the matter with you all? Going to cry for me? That's what I see it on. That's what you saw on Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 on the part of the storyline. Of course, and now Siren realized that it was too late. They got a hold of Isaac, and she cannot sense his heart, and she can only sense someone else's, and that is Gogeta. It's not Isaac there in there anymore, even though he's fused with Vegeta. It's someone else. So yes, it's someone else. Of course, you have the idea. You already have the ideas and thoughts of Vegeta and Jonathan combined. So there you have it. They and wow, and like they broke the hold. They actually broke the hold of that barrier, and it is broken down. And look at this is what Cure Twilight said. All of Queen Kotozume's plans and my own and Siren's have gone up in smoke. And she says, Pookie Bear, she says, I know you're in there, and remember what I said. And even though as Gogeta being fused, I think talk about arrogant and bravely bold. Like, even though he hears it, I think he refused to believe it. So I think he just wisely rejects and just throws it out like an arrogant way. So and then Cure Twilight meant because also in furious she's already powered up into rage completely, and she says, "When I get my hands on you, Carla Von Tsukino, she would likely destroy her." And the next time, and when she does, and Leo and Isaac are coming with us, not with you. And then Carla says this: "All work and no play has made Schism so dull. Karai may be called a protector of the fallen, but I'm a defender of the revival. You were this close to have her, but I saved her. So much for your active play. Since you're all under WWE management, I suggest your antibodies from Gino back in Mega Man X5 will be put on hold." I know you got some I know you got some words and details into this one on episode 28 from what you saw in the comic strip visual novel thumbnail, so I'll let you take it away.
Alright then. Well, first of all, Karai, this is since Karai is pretty smart. Smart, and he actually used her acting background to her advantage.
Don't you mean Carla?
Yeah, Carla, my bad.
All right, continue.
And second of all, it was actually pretty clever with the fusion form. Or seeing Gogeta the second Super Saiyan Blue was pretty nice.
It is. I mean, you do realize what Vegeta mentioned. It says, "I didn't catch her name." That was Carla. That was the one that she contacted Vegeta, Goku, and Bardock. And then we already know that Goku already being fused with Gino in a way. Vegito. So that actually happened for the first time. That will take place in Leo's story. And yeah, and like she actually played them coy. She actually played the part, and by acting this way, because she's not only like to be an actress in a way, but very athletic and muscular in a way, to be honest, and having that hairstyle, and this is what happened. And then, yes, Carla Von Tsukino has flipped the script, and then all of Schism's ideas and changing the future has just went up in smoke. It just went up in smoke. They may still have the antibodies, but they're ready to come into WrestleMania Backlash, and this is, and and usually Gogeta's going to remain into that form until the matter of Schism is resolved, because I think they want Isaac and Leo back. But they're not going to defuse Schisms until the problem with Schism is resolved first.
Yeah, they did say that.
So, and on episode 29, and Karai said, "I kind of knew I was being watched this whole time. If only Schism would have paid much more attention. When you're in acting, you must play the part by turning the tables and flip the script. Batman would love to see that. Karai, I know you accomplished a lot, and I have as well. Asami, Karai, please look after Isaac. There's something I must do that I need to take care of." Then seeing Gogeta in the second infusion form of says this: "Carla, you're her twin sister, really?" Really clever if you ask me. Also, you look like Hilda von Goneril, while Karai looks like Usagi Tsukino. I know Schism won't stop to come for Isaac and Leo. I'll remain like this for now for the time being until it's resolved. And Karai, seeing her twin sister for the first time, and it's been quite a while because another victim fallen by the hands of Goku Black. And like, because just like Karai, this is what she said. I had a feeling that one day you would come, but thank you for helping me. I only wanted to do what I have to do. I only wanted to be better as the young sister. Besides that, Asami and I will take care and watch over Isaac. I know he's in the fusion form with Vegeta, I see. And Asami Yamamoto sees this and says, "You have my word and Karai's as well. Pookie Bear will be protected even if he's in his fusion form with Vegeta, which he looks so cute." Your move sets are somewhat identical, Carla. You're quite as great as your twin sister. No offense, Karai, but it's true. And then you see Joe Gacy, he says, "It seems that most of Kotozume's allies failed, but wait until WrestleMania Backlash. The next time that Schism shows up, we'll be waiting on the other side, for the grass is greener. Enjoy your moment of victory, but it will be short lived. No matter how long it takes, I'll always watch." So, what Gogeta said. This is what Gogeta said is absolutely true. He said to Carla, and he said, "You look like Hilda von Goneril, while Karai looks like Usagi Tsukino." I did mention this to you on a video premiere while we were talking with Hurricane. Because those two characters, they're twins, but also fallen victim and being traumatized by Goku Black. The same one who this, yeah, you know, Karai Tsukino looks like Usagi Tsukino or Serena from Sailor Moon. Also with the also with Hatsune Miku in that mix of Project Diva Vocaloid of that DNA into that mix with the black hair and like I would say that's her very own black hair, Karai's very own black hair besides the blue. And then you see Carla von Tsukino, who looks like Hilda von Goneril, very much like Hilda von Goneril. You see pink and blue, half and half, the hair and the eyes. It's like, what? It's right there. She looks like Hilda von Goneril, and she kind of has a resemblance to a Project Diva Vocaloid character of Hatsune Miku as well. So the same thing that happened to her, and both of them did not ask for to have to have someone else's bodies being inside per se from within their souls, even if they are Lumar star beings. But also being in someone else's bodies in a per se to have to make their own can actually be a blessing in disguise.
I now call I use Frog from Chrono Trigger as an example of how that can work.
Frog, whose real name is Glenn.
Yes, I recall I used him as an example.
You did mention that before, and these twins actually did suffer within that, and then from they never asked to be in someone else's bodies, and then you see one who it looks like say like Usagi Tsukino, the other who looks like Hilda von Goneril, and then have only a little more muscular body to be happen with beauty, brains, and brawn. and now they putting it into good use. And now, I mean, finally these two sisters are together again, and they actually know who their mama is. It's Rosalina, and they know. I mean, Karai Tsukino, protector of the fallen. Carla Monsukino, defender of the revival. And both of these are like from the magical part of the magical girl genre, and both of them are Lumar star beings. just like just like just like Gino and Jonathan. Just like them.
Man, we're in a serious Yamai twin situation here.
You tell me, really?
Yeah. Okay, but basically, it's not exactly the same thing, but there were once one being that just kind of got split off split in two.
Okay, I mean, we did that one thing. I did that one thing on that live stream when I see Tenka and Toka split off.
Same thing happened with TMI twins. Except in this case, it happened the moment you received the oh, their completed card received her powers.
Okay, I mean, yeah, I mean, of course they are twins, but they don't like split up like into one being. These are two, and they're born 7 minutes apart.
True. Like I said, it's not the exact same thing. Just another one that they wanted to note.
Their move sets are somewhat identical, if you want to know, because from what you see is this and that, and pulling off the the ultimate upset. Because they commit both, like their move sets are awfully similar, or somewhat or close, or awfully similar to each other. Because I did mention this to you that Karai's is strength and power is second to that of Carla, and Carla's speed and agility is second to that of Karai.
Yeah, you did say that.
And she would love nothing more than to be with the one person that she really loved them, that she really cares about. I mean, I know as much as anyone else, but that would be Jonathan. Of course, seeing the younger brother, then Karai, the younger sister, in love with the older twin. That would be Gino. It's funny how like opposites attract on both sides of the same coin. And I know I'm going to spoil this on the next one, the final video of Karai's story that connects with Carla. This is, I know I'm going to spoil this, so here we go. I know I'm at the 3 hour limit, but I'm going to do this one last thing and then I'll call it a quits. Here's the final comic strip visual novel thumbnail, so I'm going to spoil this for you.
Okay.
We may be. This is what. Okay. You see on the comic strip visual novel thumbnail, which you might be able to see hopefully in whether next week per se. And she says this. And there's also Shadow Glitter Lucky, now going by the name of Yumehara the Second. Yumehara, or such a way. She said, "We may be twins, but to tell you the truth, I was jealous of your accomplishments. It really made me want to be better than you. I didn't know you were jealous of my own. We promise that Pookie Bear will be safe. Asami can put him in a King of the Ring tournament, plus my sister Yumehara the Second here to be in the Queen's tournament. I pray for your safe return until Jonathan's needed for us all." And this is what Carlos says. Of course, she goes by the name of Sailor Esther. I came up with that name, Sailor Esther. That's the name I came up with. That was my idea, Sailor Esther. Then you have Sailor Miku, Sailor Esther.
Yeah, that's a good name.
Of course, the name Esther is a Persian name, means star. So I think it's a perfect fit. And this is what Carla says. We are we are twins, Karai, but I was also jealous of yours. I was doing this for Mama Rosalina because I love her and you as well. Yumihara the second, such a lovely name. I think she likes it. She likes that name. You're our sister and you're going to be fantastic. I know that the vision from the traveler can't be avoided, but remember this well. He is always in control, not Goku Black. I'll be back soon. Pookie Bear, take care, and I love you. And of course, Gogeta, hearing these words, of course, it takes this by heart, even though he is on the fusion form of Isaac and Vegeta into that. Then you see, then Yumihara the second says, Carla, thank you for keeping my sister Karai safe. I know in my heart that one day Gina will be free from Goku Black. I promise to look after Jonathan. And Asami Karai, I will not let you down both and everyone else. I'll win the Queen's Tournament, which actually happened in the live stream. And Asami says, such a wonderful moment for this. Twin sisters together. Carla, Pookie Bear will be safe. I have an idea that might keep Schism out of a way, Karai. Isaac enters the King of the Ring. Yumihara the second in the Queen's Tournament and a triple threat match that no one must interfere. That means the RWO, the new corporate ministry, and not even Schism or anyone else cannot interfere in a match. If anyone does interfere, the match will be stopped, and guess what? Goku Black would automatically win. So no one must interfere at all. Nothing. No one. Those match, and this is what Karai said. Those matches you did, they were all for Mama. So all the matches that Carla did was all for Mama Rosalina. All of it. She did it for her, and it was all for her. And she knows, and I bet Rosalina would definitely knows this in a way, and she'd be so proud of not one but two twin sisters done this for her and for everyone else. She says, I'm sorry that I didn't know about this. Promise me, Carla, that you'll come back ASAP. We are going to get Gino back from Goku Black, and Schism will pay for what they've done. So we mentioned about the Queen's Tournament, which it already happened. And this is what Carla, remember the words of this, she said this, I know that the vision from the traveler can't be avoided. So the vision from the traveler by Dr. Fate, he saw the entire vision by the traveler himself. And he knows that this vision can't be avoided. He knows what's going to happen. He knew that Gina would lose at WrestleMania Backlash under a triple threat elimination match rules for that WCW United States Heavyweight title, remember? He knows that it would happen. If he says, if I tell you it would happen, it won't be. So he kept it. So he knows this would happen, and he knew. And he knew that Goku Black would win this, but he wouldn't tell them this. Your victory may be short-lived. Goku Black thinks his victory is long-lived. He thinks his victory will be long-lived, along with the rest of the RWO who are kind of falling apart. Like over half of them left, and the other half stayed. And because the Nagubos are now the most hated people of all time, because of why Gino had to die on the next day and not be free. And now that Wolverine has started to come back in, and then Eugeo, and then all of this, and because now they've realized who are the villains of the side of the story, including your character. It didn't go well, and now they become the most hated people of all time. And Jonathan just left. Even Yumehara the second, like I said, over half of the I would say nearly half of the RWO just left. For because of Goku Black would say this and that, and everyone was disgusted, and they all just vacated the titles. Most of them vacated the titles. Most of them. They all left in disgust from what they heard and saw. They've just vacated the titles. And the Goku Black would love to pull a fast one against the Vision that the Traveler would say that the Traveler would win because he saw everything, and he said he will not, and by believing to himself, by thinking it's not going to happen. Well, guess what?
It did indeed happen. This comes to mind a phrase I heard on a movie once. One often meets their destiny on the road they take to avoid it.
Right. And usually his victory was going to be long term, but it's actually short lived. Yeah, his victory was short lived, if you want to know. If you remember, remember when about that loophole, and remember when you saw the comic strip visual novel thumbnails of GoldenEye that actually took place when he left, when he sorry, when he absolutely left. He never came back until near SummerSlam. And then because all this kept on going on for months for now, and it just wasn't the same. And they have to, and the only way for the Nagumos to admit is to tell the truth. The women of the Nagumos kind of knew about Veritas in a way, and they knew what they don't. Of course, and Hajime Nagumo had to spill the beans, and he admits that he was hired by was belonged to the group said Veritas by the group leader of Dr. Swan. In any case, if the distant sons of the Traveler went rogue, that Hajime Nagumo would eliminate the bloodlines of it, such as both of them. Of course, that wasn't enough now, was it? A contingency plan after another. And Goku Black does really know about Veritas, including those he actually knows by the names of those people. You can't fool anyone. And that was it. He finally spilled the beans. He finally told the truth. And when he lost the match, of course, he had to win a match because if all the Nagumo men were defeated in a tornado tag team match of 6, that it would Wolverine would, and if Wolverine wins and his group, Wolverine would be free to gut all the 3 of them in a license to kill. Which is not funny. So the Nagumo men had to win this to have that stipulation to be null and void. Of course they won, but when it comes to Hell in a Cell, then, well, it seems that you jailed. Well, finally had to confront your character along with Tenka Yatogami, and I think your character decided that enough was enough, and I think you don't want to have the beaten up on the living daylights such as those two. So in other words, like vanish under the radar and like avoid all this because I don't think you don't want to have another confrontation of whatsoever. And then until your character will come back again when all things are starting to come back forward. And this is when Isaac's return came in and when who goes by the name of Jonathan under the name of Luz Morado. That's Spanish for purple light. Luz Morado. In
Yeah,
two
you see that in 2K23.
correct. And also why did he he left after WrestleMania Backlash. And this is where management comes in and decided to name him The Lock. The Lock. That will be a key role to be a part of the 2K23 My Rise storyline, The Lock. This will be the entire era of Jonathan's story. Jonathan's story, who goes by the name of Luz Morado. Hi Hurricane, but this live stream is almost over because yeah, this is what happens. Not like it's not my fault if for those who don't know what they're missing, I am not responsible for the one who says everything because I'm not gonna repeat what I said back. So So the next once of Leo's story on the 2K22 of the My Rise storyline comes to an end, that the next Let's Play will be WWE 2K23 of for the My Rise storyline is the Lock and the Legacy. So Jonathan's story will be played on as the Lock. The Lock and the Legacy, which would be on the women's side of the women's division, in that I chosen two characters out of the option, only two, and it would be Monica from Doki Doki Literature Club will be on the live stream of a Let's Play, and the other will be Maya Black, which is the other character, and that will be another part of the legacy. And like, she will make the appearance of somewhere like in Halloween Havoc. So yes. Oh, really? I don't know if you were paying attention, Hurricane, because you were kind of gone for like almost 2 hours. But now I am going to end the live stream in like in 10 minutes or less. So, anyways, the news is gonna be I'm 2K, WWE 2K23. The My Rise storylines of the Lock and the Legacy will be next. After I finish with the My Rise storyline of my character first. So there's only one episode left of Karai's story with Carla. And then after that, there will be like, wow, around, I would say, 10 to 12, 10 or more episodes within my character's storyline. So that's going to be a lot. But you'll see some interesting visions of what is to come of WWE 2K23 of the Lock. So Jonathan is the Lock. So there you have it. And also the Road to Survivor Series and War Games is on the horizon, and there are several pit stops. Halloween Havoc, NXT The Great American Bash, and you also got Clash at the Castle plus one ECW one night stand. That will be interesting. And also, then after those pit stops and along the way, you got Survivor Series and War Games combined. And there's going to be a huge, heavy stipulation, and I know I'm going to spoil this, so here it is. The heavy stipulation is this. Team members of the RWO have already been gathered. You got Team Cena, Team Undertaker, Team Rhodes. You got Team Phoenix, Team Belair, and not to mention Team Rodriguez, along with Team Carla, Team Karai, whichever works. Anything that's possible. So it'll come in handy. And also, the members like the New Day will be joining in, along with others like Indy Hartwell, Candice LeRae on that roster of the to help out members of the RWO, and they see that they have full potential, and they know what it means that they don't want to be left behind or be banished from the new Nexus Empire. And that's what it is. It's all about the new Nexus Empire willing to get rid of the RWO or make them to surrender fully and disband. For those who so if those members like such as non-members are willing to participate to help out the RWO, both Alliance and New Alliance, well, they say if you're going to join them, you will be washed away like the rest of the garbage. So the new Nexus Empire are willing to do this, and here's the stipulation is this. If any team or any member of the RWO loses one match along the way in Survivor Series and War Games combined, it's over. No more matches the matches will be discontinued permanently. The RWO must go into full surrender and must disband immediately and submit to the Zero Mortal Plan permanently. Which means in a live stream. In a live stream. You don't want to lose once. Do not lose once or else live stream is over and that's it. That would be the end of it. Scary now, isn't it? That is a heavy and scary stipulation. What do you think?
I agree.
It's just... So in other words, do not lose even once. Like, it's like you're being in the NFL playoffs. You lose one game along the way and you're gone. You're out of here. Gone for good. So don't lose once at all. When it comes to War Games and Survivor Series combined, it is over. But with that loophole, yeah, the loophole will come into play from Tron Evolution and Star Wars: The Force Unleashed 2. And like I said, if the music is copyright claimed on YouTube because of YouTube's algorithm is so messed up, which it still is, to be honest, I'm doing it on Facebook exclusive only. That's it. Facebook exclusive only, and also I can do that as a live stream, which that works too. Yeah, you didn't know that? I could do that. It's just, it is possible. I'm not saying it isn't. I could, because I can't do the Arkham games of Batman anymore on my YouTube channel, plus Project Eva Vocaloid, except for snapshots and pictures. I can do that on YouTube, which is not a problem. I just need the music. That's it. That's all I need. I just need the music, for crying out loud. And also, Batman Arkham Origins. And I have not done a live stream of Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate Deluxe. I haven't done that one because that would be, if I would love to do that as a live stream, that would be great. I will do it on Facebook exclusive only. Facebook exclusive only. And and also, and I know I'm gonna throw this in next one before I end the live stream. Here it is. There will be episodes of WWE Super Show 2023, which I've already uploaded, and you'll be able to see them next week. Next week. Plus, next week, there will be a live stream as well that I can talk about the wrestlers of all time. And how's that? And I also like to have a special guest in common. What do you say?
I'll be honest.
Yes! So, WWE Super Show 2023, it was shown on September 17th in Boise, Idaho at the Extra Mile Arena. So, there you have it. That's going to be interesting. Plus, you'll hear me comment the words, you'll hear me commentating the words. You'll see the Cody Rhodes, the idiotic Dominic Mysterio, which nobody likes, Tiffany Stratton, and the NXT Women's Champion Becky Lynch. The main eventish Jey Uso, who is now babyface, Bronson Reed. I know I've seen all the stars. I didn't record all the film, but I only recorded as much as I could. And there is... Yeah, it gets interesting now, isn't it? And also Shinsuke Nakamura and Seth freaking Rollins to defend his World Heavyweight Championship. The WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And then you see a little commentating by L.A. Knight. Yeah! And also a little throwback of the Fireflies of Bray Wyatt, who actually passed away in late August or early September, who goes by the name of Wyndham Rotunda. So there you have it. So it will be a living tribute to Wyndham Rotunda, who goes by the name of Bray Wyatt. So you'll see it. Trust me, it's something you might want to hear from me. So there you have it. So anyways, I'd like to thank Austin Lawrence, who is my special guest here, and me, yours truly, Leo Wolverine. My real name is Oscar, if you want to know, and also a cosplayer, YouTuber, a Special Olympic athlete, and all the works. And hopefully you guys like this live stream as much as I do. Once again, there will be other live stream as well. I have not fully completed the live stream of Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars. I need to finish that one because I put it off too long enough. That one needs to be done, which I know. So, the live stream of Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars, I haven't finished that fully completely. And I will bring back Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Master Quest. That one will be in as well for next week. So both of those will be coming back next week. So I can guarantee you that. So anyways, as your main owner and founder of this entire channel, who likes to take chances, making mistakes, and getting messy, who likes peanut butter and chocolate and her breakfast for dinner, and celebrating Breast Cancer Awareness Month for the entire month of October, wearing pink because it makes me manly. Godspeed, play safe, and shalom. Just remember to fight with honor, love, truth, and justice, and I will post up more pictures of my Six Flags Fiesta, Texas, from where I've gone to, and there you have it. So, see you guys next time for either Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Master Quest, as well as Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars live stream as well. Friendship is magic for everyone. Have a great rest of your evening, and thank you guys so much.
Show's over. See you guys next time.
Bye.